are new to like me doing this, and they're like, "Why didn't you talk?" Because I don't care who's dating who. I just don't care. So having said all of that, congratulations to Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, because that was actually pretty cool. and I need to say, I am a fan of Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. I'm way too invested. I don't even care about these people, but I'm invested. Okay. Anyways, back to football.
So I've got a question for well, actually two questions. One for Smook and then one for both Smook and E. How much poster board material? How much do you think that Alabama is gunning for that new quarterback at FSU with all the stuff he's been talking? And then I'm curious your guys' thoughts on SEC going to 9 games.
You want to go first, E? Well, he asked about the FSU game.
Yeah, well, he asked about y'all, but I will put my comments in on the 9 games. I'll be honest with you. When I first seen it, I at first I thought, I'm like, I know the SEC did not just get strong armed by the Big Ten, but when I thought about it, I looked at it. I said, well, you know what? This is what they asked for. So I'm just going to say this to all the other conferences out there: Big 10, ACC, Big 12, the new Pac-12 that's coming, Mountain West, all y'all. Don't get mad when the SEC got about 6 or 7 teams up there. Don't get mad. Don't get mad.
Period.
Because again, if y'all can see last year about how the SEC really beat up on each other. I mean, coming down to the wire, it was a change of who was going to the SEC championship. I'm going to say, as a Georgia fan, and I don't care about any other Georgia fans, I did not want to go to the SEC championship game. I wanted to rest and go to the playoffs. We already had an opportunity to be in the playoffs. We did not need to be in the SEC championship. But then when I'm sorry, Smooth. I mean, I just met you. I'm sorry. But then when Oklahoma came over there and did what they did to Alabama, then with Ole Miss losing to Florida, Texas A&M getting curb stomped by Auburn, it's just like, did y'all really put us in here when we were just minding our business and eating our food? We lost our games. We knew we weren't going. We were fine with losing our games. We lost our games, okay? We lost them. We wanted to go to the playoffs. That's what we wanted to do. We could have bypassed the SEC. We were cool. So again, it had its moments because we beat Texas twice. Sorry.
Hey.
We beat Texas twice, but we also ended up losing our quarterback at the same time. So
you're welcome. You're welcome, Notre Dame. Okay.
Look,
you are welcome.
Yes.
I'm glad you said it before I had to reiterate it and kind of remind some Georgia fans. You guys were not prepared for the playoffs last year, let alone to go into that game with Gunnar Stockton against Texas. You needed that extra week of prep. And even now, man, I think that negative is going to affect him for the most part of this season. The way that Texas game went, the way that playoff game went, I think it's going to affect them negatively going into this season for Georgia. But I look at where everything stands right now in the SEC with the conference schedule. First of all, the conference adding 9 games, I think is what's needed. You expand the conference, you're at 16 teams. You're talking about national products as far as when you think of college football: Texas, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Florida. You're talking about teams like, when you think of college football
we don't count Florida, but
you got to count Florida when you got national championships. Come on, Georgia. Don't do that, Georgia. Y'all took. Listen, let me give you a second. Let me give you a little attention. Listen, Georgia, y'all ain't special. You know what you did is almost like 5 years old now. You know what you did? And it was done almost 20 years ago by the very team that you want to keep trying to compare yourself to. So let's simmer down a little bit.
He said compare.
You can't. Don't try it. You're gonna hurt your brain. But I really think with the SEC,
I love it here.
With the SEC expanded to 9 conference games throughout the season, you find a better product and quality of playoff selection, and it's all on the committee at this point. Like, we can't continue to give them excuses talking about basis of criteria and all this stuff. Let's just put the best 16 teams in the playoffs. Let's put the best 12 teams or whatever they're going to decide before the season ends. We all know that could change. Let's see where we end up at and select the best teams. Don't do Bama like you did them last year. You can't finish ranked number 11 in your final playoff rankings and then don't make the playoffs in a 12-team playoff because somebody went to their conference championship game and lost with a weaker strength of schedule, and I mean, literally the product on the field doesn't even match up. With all the problems Alabama had last year on the offensive side, still had a team still averaging 33 points a game, and you had two teams in the playoffs that were 27, 21 points a game. Defense is giving up 25, 28. Like that's not playoff teams. That's not playoff production. So I like it for the SEC. And then Saturday, man, Florida State, I hate it for y'all. I
think going to 9 games, like however you feel about it, it's a step towards sort of having an even playing field across the board, so there's no excuses, right?
Super League,
right? It's one step closer to that the Big Ten and SEC are moving to. But did you really think Alabama deserved to be in the playoffs last year after you watched the ReliQuest Bowl when your starters played against our backups?
Hey, you know what happened? Thank God for the rain, bro, because that first drive was about to get ugly for y'all. And I'm telling you right now, man, there was a lot of internal things going on with the locker room transition.
So Alabama can't play in the rain?
Not for bowl games. You don't show up with the same focus or intensity. Nor do you show up against a Michigan team that's doggone probably got your playbook in their back pocket, ready for. We're not gonna play. I'm big guns and nicest, big guns. Y'all keep coming for these Bama boys. I'm telling y'all, man.
But what about? But what are your thoughts about that big mouth QB that Florida State got from Boston College, talking crazy about Alabama all offseason?
Trash?
Yeah.
Is that the one that's? Oh, okay.
You've been talking about Alabama all offseason. I'm just like, man, I can't wait to watch this game.
As we say in Texas, bless his heart.
Bless his little heart.
Yeah, bless his heart. I will say, Texas really doesn't have to make a lot of adjustments for their schedules because we always add that extra game in there that's pretty hard for us. So I'm just saying.
Which one is that? Was that the first game or Oklahoma?
This year it's Ohio State. This year it's Ohio State. Last year it was Michigan. The year before that it was beating Bama.
You didn't catch what I was saying.
What'd you say?
I said, I'm like, which one? The first game or Oklahoma? It's saying.
Actually, so which game, as a Texas fan, which game is more important for you to win? If you could only win one and you lose the other, are you taking the win over Ohio State or are you taking the win over Oklahoma?
I don't even care about Oklahoma. If I had a choice of what game Texas could win this year, it would 100% be Georgia. My second team would 100% be Ohio State.
Okay.
Really?
Because I think that the committee is telling us those wins matter more.
See, this is why the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry is the best in the country, because there's not a single fan on either side that would pick any game other than the game.
Each other.
I would say the same thing about Bama. Like, we don't care about, opening up against Florida State and whooping Florida State. If we don't beat Auburn at the end of the season, it's a failed season for us. We don't care.
Yeah, but y'all are in the same state. We're not in the same.
Well, Michigan and Ohio State ain't in the same state.
Okay, but my thing is, it depends on what your goal is.
Yeah.
My goal is for my team to make it into the playoffs.
True.
A loss against Alabama or a loss against Oklahoma. You know what the committee is going to say? They're rivals.
Yeah.
But
they give more weight to these rival games too.
Yeah, because I will honestly challenge that, because one thing that I would think that can hurt a lot of teams, and I just kick my desk. But one thing I think that can hurt a lot of teams is really legitimately those rivals. Like, I'm gonna give it to you like that. We had no business going into freaking 8 overtimes with Georgia Tech. No business. But
it was fun to watch.
Vanderbilt. I love when y'all talk about the Vanderbilt game and y'all act like y'all forget going in 8 overtimes against an ACC non-conference championship contender.
Yeah, but at least they won.
No, but see, the thing about it is, with the rivalry between us and Georgia Tech, back in the gap, like earlier in the years, Georgia Tech used to have Georgia's number. Seriously. Like, they used to have our number. So it's always a hard fought game with that. Over the years, though, do we lead the series? Yes. Have we beat them more than they beat us? Yes. But in the same token, when that game comes, it doesn't matter if it's at their school, our school. This year is actually going to be in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium this year. So it does not matter what it is. It's just going to be a hard fought game, because it's just that. But we like to have to remind the little bumblebees, yes, I call them bumblebees, have to remind them that regardless of us being in Athens, downtown Atlanta reps us more than they sit over here and rep that school. So that's another thing that kind of gets them underneath their skin a little bit because they don't get that same kind of respect for it. But it's always a hard fought game. It's a hard fought game when we play Florida. It's a hard fought game when we play Tennessee. I mean, Missouri, Kentucky gives us fits, but if you ask any Georgia fan, they probably will say they want to beat Florida.
Yeah.
They might say they want to beat Tennessee. You got some that's like, no, we gotta beat Georgia Tech. Auburn's in there too. So you have those that say about Auburn. So we have a multitude of games depending on who you ask within the fan base, which one is
Yeah.
more important. So you might get a little weight, but I will give it more to Florida. Like a lot of fans really, 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 really
Yeah,
want
I
to
learned
beat Florida.
I learned how big that Florida Georgia game was. I did not know. Okay. And in my comment section, people let me know very much that like I was like, where have you been? Like, pay attention. I'm like, my bad.
The largest
Like,
cocktail party.
didn't know. I learned that, and I learned how hard it is to play at Auburn. A lot of people mentioned how hard it was to play at Auburn. That was something new that I heard. Also, some people mentioned it was hard to play at Florida as well. I didn't know that. I think too, this comes down to do you take wins more important or the losses? Like at the end of the season, when you look back, do you focus on the teams that you beat, or do you focus on the teams that you lost to more? You focus on the losses. Okay.
Yeah, because so for instance, and I'm gonna throw Ole Miss underneath the bus because Lane really came out that he went over there and went into the portal to find the players to beat Georgia because the whooping that we gave them the year prior stuck in his soul. That was his sole purpose, and then he went to Florida and lost to Florida. So I'm like, yes, your goal was accomplished because your goal was to go into the portal, find players so you can build a team to beat Georgia, but then you lose to Florida. But when we go back and look at that game, and I honestly don't rewatch games. I just kind of like rewatch the highlights, but I fully don't go back and like rewatch certain games that we lost. That game I just wanted to go see. Rain was a factor that really hurt us. We couldn't get the run game going. They couldn't get no pass rush. They were getting pushed in the trenches. It was just a terrible all around game for them. So that's just one thing that when I look back and I was like, you know what? If we can change it up, and then on top of that, we were having receiver problems, couldn't even freaking hold the ball. So that was another thing that was really irking us and hurting us as well. But just going back and looking at some of those games with that, no, I did not go back and look at that Alabama game. I never go back and look at Alabama games that we lost. I just never do because it just makes me mad all over again, really. So, but I do go back and watch that national championship though. So, but
1-7.
when it's all
1-7. 1-7.
But that's fine. We're
getting
good,
older.
no.
It's getting older and older as we continue to add more recent victories to the matchup. Y'all still talking about that 1 year where you needed six injuries.
Last year,
my fault. Your turn. My bad.
Look. I'm gonna just tell you this, and this is my one slide because since they really didn't go nowhere last year, we were their national championship when we played them. So congratulations, kudos for that one. But when it's all said and done, though, like the losses, you do have to go back and kind of go look at those losses just to see exactly, I don't like blaming coaches because I believe it's a whole team effort from the head coach all the way down to the player. Like it does not matter. But when it's all said and done, I go back and see what can we have done different? What do we need to work on moving forward? And what, maybe is it, hey, were we thin? Was it depth issues? Or was it just legitimately we just got our butt handed to us? You know
what's funny is I agree with what you're saying. I think I look at it a little bit differently. I go back and look at our wins because what you do in a win is going to also show up in a loss.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to kind of see did we really get our run game going or were we just better? Did we really execute? I like to see, because I think it's easier to pick and prod a win because you won. And you can kind of go back and be like, okay, this is going to show up. And that, when I make my videos, I'm always like, we won that, but let me tell you something. that run game is bad. That right side of the offensive line, we have a problem. Like, it doesn't matter if we won. I can still see that was a problem, even in a win. Because when we lose, because I'm like, throw the whole team away. What was that? I don't want to see that again. Like, just throw the team away. Let's just refocus. I'm going to act like I don't know those guys until the next game. That's kind of where I'm at.
And I'm the same way. I do that, but I do agree with that. But see, the thing with why I look with the losses, I already know when we go into games and we win. I'm already nitpicking things that I already seen previously from the last one. So I'm already noticing that. So when we do have a loss, did that particular item show up? Because then that's how I know for a fact that this is going to be a problem. Even the little games that if we win, like against like a Marshall or something, I already know we're going to have issues within that game. And I'm already notating those down because I'm picking those out. Even if we win again, I'm still picking those out. So when that loss does happen, what really is it? Is it we just don't have a strong enough offensive line? Are we not getting enough push in the trenches? Are we not, there's not holes being open? Like, what is it that makes me go in? So that's why I go back and look at those losses a little bit more when it's all said and done, rather than like, look at the wins, because I'm like, I already know it's going to show up in a win.
Yeah.
If we started off slow.
I think it really depends on if it on who the opponent is, if it's a rivalry game or not, and also the time of year. Like, for example, I don't think a loss to if we lose the game week 2 to Oklahoma, I don't think that's going to hurt us as much as the loss to Ohio State in the final week of the season will. Yeah. Winning over a rival matters more. Like last year, we lost 5 games, but our entire fan base was feeling good after the season was over because we ended it beating Ohio State and beating Alabama. So, like, I think that matters. But I also, for me, I think that's fair. With losses, it's not so much the loss that matters; it's what happens after.
Yeah.
It's what happens the next game after the loss. Is I think because that really tells the story of the loss, where the win tells its own story.
I love that. Let me just say, there's been a lot of people that joined, and then Coach, you can go next. We are live streaming every single person that I talk to for my top 25 college football series. I invited to this. So if they show up for 5 minutes, 7 minutes, the whole time, they are more than welcome to come and go as they please. We're talking about football. So if you like football, this is for you. It doesn't matter if you like college or NFL, we're going to talk about it. If it comes up, we're going to talk about it. Also, I forgot to say this. If you have a YouTube channel and you join this and you want to stream this to or if you have a Twitter that you want to stream this to, I don't mind. So I set it up to where everybody could pick and take the link and send it out to their respective audiences, just FYI. And then the other thing is, if you want to know how I rank this teams, you know how hard it is to create a visual? In the description section of this video on YouTube, I have them all listed in the description. So you can literally click the team and find the video if you're interested in seeing that. So I just needed to say that. I will be quiet. As people join, I will just add them up. And I'll keep doing this. So anyways, okay, Coach, it's on you.
Oh, I was really just about to circle back around. I think with coming into this season this weekend, man, you got some serious matchups, and then you got some matchups where you really get to gauge where a lot of these teams going to be at. The serious matchup, really Flawed. You familiar with Texas, Ohio State? I heard y'all talking about it earlier. I really think just week 1, it doesn't matter how Texas loses this game. I got Texas losing, and I don't think it's a bad thing for them. With so many questions, questions to find answers to, and a lot of that veteran presence not being available on the offensive side. How does Arch step into this role and be the true leader? Coming into his 3rd year on campus, 3rd year in college football, never has been a question is his skill set is there, but the offense is going to need more than just him to help this team be successful. And even with their stumble in week 1. This Texas team is still, in my opinion, still a 10-2, 9-3 team. That schedule is not hard, man. That schedule is not hard. They can go into that game against Oklahoma this year. I believe that's the 5th game of the season, or is it a 4th game? Is it the 5th game of the season?
It's 5th game because it's the 2nd week in October.
So it's the 5th game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because our bye week is after. Our bye week is before or after them.
So they go into that neutral site game in Dallas, rivalry game. We know how that game can go back and forth. They go into that with some confidence on the defensive side of the ball. I think the offense kind of outplays Brett Venables and his defense because of the nature of the game. And Texas can get on another roll with their conference schedule. Now, Same thing could be said about Michigan. Early start against a Oklahoma team that's revamped with the offense. How do they show up against a new scheme?
So wait, are you high on Oklahoma? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not. I'm not.
I'm high on Oklahoma. I
Are
believe
you?
that they're one of this. I believe that they're one of the sleeper teams. Like, to be honest
Okay.
with you, because again, even though they have a revamped offense and everything like that, I still want one thing about Oklahoma that I learned. Because again, I told you, I think I told you, and when we were talking,
Yeah.
that if I didn't pick Georgia, I would definitely be an Oklahoma fan. Because I lived
Yep.
in Oklahoma for a little bit because of the military, but when it's all said and done with it, they have overcame a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've overcome, and they're just, when you think Oklahoma's down, they're not. Yes, have they, ever since Bob Stoops stepped down, Lincoln left, they have really been in a rebuild. But once they really find their formula, I do believe that they will be kind of one of those teams, how they were in the Big 12, how you had the top heavy with them in the Big 12. I do see that. I do see them competing for an SEC title later on down the line. I'm not saying like within the first 2 years of them being there, because they still have to
Yep.
kind of revamp and get used to, like, SEC play, but let alone try to get some of those SEC in the trenches guys for that. So yeah, I'm pretty high on them. I do believe that they can actually do something this year.
Can
I
I
have
spin
no
back on that?
idea. Well, yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say
you
I
can
have
spin
no
back.
idea what I think about him, but go ahead.
No, I agree with what she's saying, but I think what people haven't been paying attention to, before Oklahoma got to the SEC, even before Brett Venables took over, they
Yeah.
changed their whole direction in recruiting as
direction.
far as
Yep.
recruiting the trenches. You got guys like David Stone that really solidified their transition of the type of trench players that they want on both the offensive and defensive front. I think
Yeah.
where Oklahoma is going to be behind the power curve is last year they're hired with what is it? Not Arbuckle. Who was the coordinator last year for Oklahoma? That offensive scheme with Jackson Arnold, that was just the setback for them. They lost in recruiting because of that transition. They lost a lot of
Had a
leverage
few receivers transfer out.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
with
And then the
Mateer coming in,
injuries.
And
that part too.
running back, they had a
Yeah.
running back transfer out too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
then
did you
look
see?
at-
And did you see Jaden Ott as heralded as he is? He's listed as third running back on the depth chart.
and that's
Is
what
it?
I'm literally getting to you.
My bad.
Jaden Ott, you talk about it. He came in as a transfer. I think when you have so many questions like that with the new scheme, skill set wise, he looks good, but does he fit the scheme? Does he fit the new philosophy? How does this mesh together? And you got a guy in John Mateer, who I think is going to be one of the top quarterbacks in this class coming out for the draft. But with this offense, which week does it click? And I don't think it clicks against Michigan in week 2. Their defense is coming back. It's going to be sound. It's going to be effective. I just think they don't figure it out enough with their conference schedule and how it lines up. I don't think they figure it out enough to win 8 games, 9 games to be a dark horse team. Now, I still have Oklahoma 7-5, a game better than what they did last year. I think they figured out towards the end of the season, and what they showed the first 3 weeks is not who they are. And week 10 through 12, when if they would have been this team in week 2, week 3, they're a playoff team. I feel like they're a year, maybe a year and a half off from being that team that can be a contender. But I don't believe in them this year. Too many changes going on. I think the philosophies on play calling styles on each side kind of clash initially. You got to find that balance, and it's going to take some weeks to do that. And you don't have the time on that early schedule to do that.
Well,
Yeah,
All right.
and
So I
like
need to bring someone else into this conversation. And before I bring them into this conversation, I would like to say I am sorry because they lost. So we're going to welcome in K-State Sam. And unfortunately, they are 0-1 as it is right now. So I just want to take a minute and say hi and let you know that we're here for you. Okay, we are sorry that we all witnessed that, and we are sorry for you, but we're glad that you're here. So welcome in. We're just talking football. We're now talking about Kansas, or we're talking about Oklahoma. Do we think they're taking a step forward, taking a step back, or kind of staying neutral? I think maybe is even where they might be. But how are you feeling about Kansas State after that game? Like, what are you thinking?
So I'm hoping that you've already asked everyone that's joined to raise their hand if their team's undefeated, so I can just pop in towards the end. So no, but see. No, I think I'm doing good. I think the outcome to me, honestly, is just completely in the past. It's more so of all the media and just the mess that's going on right now with K-State with Avery Johnson, his dad and his brother getting in that.
Yeah, what was that?
I have no idea. I mean, words can't describe just this team again. Preseason Big 12 favorite in most polls. You know, some will have Baylor, some will have Texas Tech, some will have Arizona State. K-State was, again, for the second straight year, picked to finish in the top 2. And losing to a team, no disrespect to Iowa State, but losing to a team when you're picked 1 to a team that's picked to finish 6. Kind of like what I said on our show with Texas. If you're number 1 in the country going in, everyone thinks you're the best, or the people think you're the best. You shouldn't lose to a team, in theory, that's worse than you ranked-wise.
If you're just getting into your car.
Losing to a team that's ranked 6th out of 14, or 16, 16 is not good. And so to me, that is negative, but just that, and then all the Dylan Edwards talk and stuff, it's been a
what was the injury? Is he coming back for the rest of the season, or what?
So as far as I know, he's not injured. I mean, like super injured. He was in a boot apparently in the Dublin airport, but from what I've heard is when he muffed the ball, there was a lot of smoke in the preseason, or in the beginning of the game. There was a ton of smoke from fireworks.
There was a ton of smoke.
And my parents who were at the game told me that, again, they saw a lot of fireworks and leftover smoke that could have been his eyes, and then it was raining with the sky. I don't know. I have no clue. It was ever since that play, it just felt like the wheels had just fallen off.
It just went downhill. Yeah.
Like, according to ESPN Analytics, K-State, I mean, we're not going to be ranked even if we beat North Dakota 80-0. We're not going to be ranked next week. But according to ESPN Analytics, we're still ahead of Iowa State in the analytics because we dominated Iowa State in every stat in that game except the score. Our defense lived in the backfield. They shredded us, but we turned the ball over twice on 4th and 1. We missed an opportunity to go for a field goal after they fumbled it inside their own 20. It was just a bad. It was a game where neither team looked good. Yeah, it was like a bad bowl game. Neither team. My Iowa State buddy, who I had on my podcast 20 minutes ago, after I had to go through my 3rd or 4th box of tissues, and he was loving it. It was like McDonald's. He was loving it. I told him that it was a bad game. He said, I feel like it was one of the worst games he's ever won. He doesn't feel like Iowa State even looked good. He just felt like they made fewer mistakes down the stretch.
Can I just say something, though? I thought Kansas State's defense looked pretty good. Like, they didn't look great, but they were applying pressure. They were making quarterback throw the ball. Like, they were making him getting the ball out. I thought that defense was okay, but
the offense looked good. We had a lot of drops, and we turned the ball over twice.
Yeah, it just didn't look balanced. Didn't look balanced.
We just looked bad.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I can't imagine how Avery Johnson feels knowing that his father put up more of a fight after the game than he did during.
I will say this: I don't think I thought Avery played. In my opinion, which again I'm very biased, I think Avery did a great job of setting a good Heisman Week 0 campaign. He threw for almost 300 yards, no interceptions.
His stats were amazing.
Yeah,
he had a good game. He had a good game. We had a lot of drops. He didn't get first downs on 4th and 1 when he should have. It was like Michael Bishop in 1998 all over again against the Aggies. The Cats' last meow was on Saturday in Dublin.
I just want to say,
K-State does not lose a game in the month of August again, I'll be happy.
Let me just say this. I appreciate you coming in and you being the fan of a team that lost. You know what I mean? Because there's a certain kind of a feeling you have when your team loses and you know that your team was the team everybody was watching. It's like a walk of shame.
Again,
you're just like, oh, my team lost.
This morning, retweet this if your team's still undefeated. I'm like, great.
It's all right. I know that you're only stopping by to say hi, so I appreciate you stopping by. And since you've been here, I think we've had about 75 new people join. So I just want to say, and you can drop off whenever you need to, Sam, if you need to go. I just want to say what we're doing is my top 25 college football teams. Everybody I talked to for the series, I invited all of them to join. They are going to join for 0 minutes to however long they want to stay. And we're just up here talking about football. And so everybody, if you come up here, if you're listening to this and you're about to come up here because somebody just messaged me, you can, when you get up here, you can make sure that you're streaming it to your respective network if you want to. You obviously don't have to. And then for those of you that are wondering who my top 25 is, you can look in this description of this video, and I have them all listed with their videos all cute and ready for you to click.
So I am about to bounce. I did want to say, I want two things real quick, if it's okay. So one, my buddy Cyclone Chris, who's one of your people that are watching right now, he was just in Dublin. And again, he was the one that said that game, he was happy they got the win. Neither he or I think we should be ranked. I mean, he didn't think Iowa State even looked good. He thought we blew through the defensive, their offensive line. We were forcing them. We just couldn't stop them at the end. And he felt like if there was another quarter, we win. So, Chris, here's your shout out. Congrats to your clones. My goal for us in the next 30 years is to beat Iowa State at least one time. I do want to give my podcast, for those of you who have Spotify, Collegiate Jam. Again, that's Collegiate, COLLEGIATE space JAM. Go check it out. Season 5 just did episode 6 and would love to get some more followers. I've had every state, a bunch of different countries tune in. And yeah, so thanks for having me pop in. Someone told me a long time ago, you have to have more of a love for the sport than your team, because if your team always loses, then the sport's just going to be a disaster. So good talking to y'all. Go Cats. And yeah, we're going to beat North Dakota.
What? Y'all better.
Well, I hope so. I would hope so.
Is it
Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's the game at? Is it in Kansas State?
It's in America's heartland in Manhattan, Kansas. We should win.
Okay.
Now, Iowa State, all jokes aside, South Dakota is going to give them a fight. I saw that they opened up as a 16-point favorite. It's fallen to like 12 or 13 now.
Which one of the Dakota schools has Trey Lance's little brother at quarterback?
They do. And
is it North? Which team is that?
It's either North Dakota State or South Dakota State. I forget which one. But one of them
is North Dakota State.
Yeah,
not
North Dakota State.
Okay, gotcha. My bad.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Sam. We appreciate you. And then for people that want to find Sam's information on my Twitter, I tagged him next to his Kansas State video. So I appreciate you. Thanks for coming in, and I'm glad that you're done crying and you've moved on. So congratulations.
Oh, I'm about to open another box.
Anyways, that was Sam jumping in. It's so funny when people's teams lose. I'm just like, what do you need to say? Just let it out.
Let it out. Listen.
Just let it all out. This is a safe space. Just let it out. This is a safe space.
Last season after the Vanderbilt loss, I hosted a phone call segment, right? I went live probably like 9:30 p.m. I didn't get off my live till like 4 o'clock in the morning. And phone calls are raining in from 9:15, 9:20 p.m. to the time I got off of the live. It was maybe a 3 to 7 minute break between phone calls. I think I had 32 phone calls that night.
Back to back.
It was back to back, and they were fire came moment. So I get where K-State Sam is coming from, man. But
I totally get it.
I think
we have somebody else here. So we have my resident North Dakota. We have a resident Notre Dame fan. So, hey, JJ, how are you? I'm shocked that you're here. I'm shocked that you joined me. We were just here 0 minutes to 30 minutes to however long you want to stay. So how are you feeling about Notre Dame? How are you feeling? How did you like your ranking? What's going on? Welcome to the panel.
Hey, everyone. I'm shocked that I'm on too, but my wife encouraged me to just jump on for a couple minutes. And so, but Notre Dame, I mean, I think we're ranked fairly. I told you, the big thing was, about Carr being named the quarterback. So a lot hinges on his readiness to just hit the ground running. It's a big, first matchup, in Miami, and so I just, want to make sure that we get off to a fast start. I think last year we got off to, a good start, but then we lost, in the split game. And so I think we have to just come out, and keep our foot on the gas this year. And I think if we do that, it'll be a good season.
So I have to ask the question. Are you guys beating Miami on Sunday at Miami?
I want to say I saw something. I wasn't tracking it, and I go back a long ways. But I don't think we've ever won in Miami. And that's a very bad track record, but I have to go and verify that. I was like, I saw that somewhere. I think it was on Twitter. Like one of the Notre Dame reporters reported that.
Okay.
And I just didn't fact check it. I was at work when I saw it, so I need to go
Okay.
back and check that. But I mean, if that's our history, then it's kind of hard to like bet for us, But I'm always going to bet for us. I mean, I think we're a better team. But I haven't seen that team with Carson Beck, and I'm assuming Carson Beck is the starter and all that. So I know he was here at Georgia, but I think what'd you say?
Well, yeah, I was going to say
trying
you
to
have a
whisper.
Georgia. Lady E is a Georgia fan, so maybe she has some thoughts about Carson Beck.
Oh, we have
If
a Georgia
she don't,
fan.
I do. If she don't, I do. Because I will
So we
tell
have
you.
so maybe I should have said this. So we have a Michigan fan, we have a Georgia fan, we have an Alabama fan right now that is on.
Listen.
I mean, big respect to the Michigan guy, because we have a lot of history. If he's old enough, then there's a lot of legacy between Notre Dame and Michigan. I hate that they don't play each other regularly anymore.
I mean, listen. So like, I don't remember a lot from when I was a kid because of medical issues, but some of the things I remember the most are some of the Notre Dame Michigan games.
Yeah.
Listen, I would have swore that he was the next big thing in college football when Tate Forcier won that game at the last couple minutes of that game.
I love that. I love some football history. I love that.
He went on to do absolutely nothing for us after that game. But
so first of all, somebody just sent me a super chat.
I missed,
and this is crazy as hell. Because first of all, old man, I appreciate you because you've been here with me literally from start. So like since channel creation, you've been here, you've been rocking with me. So I appreciate you. And I also appreciate the super chat. And it just says, I love supporting hardworking people. So here's $10 times 25 for your top 25 college football and NFL Madness show. You are a gem. I appreciate you. I am not going to get emotional. I will not get emotional. Okay. Maybe when this is over, I'll cry for 15 minutes, but I appreciate you more than you know. And on my show, for those of you that are guests here, you're about to see something. You might like it, you might not, but I always thank my guests when they send a super chat. And what you're about to see, you might like it or not, but here we go. So thank you. Thank you, old man.
Yes,
Well, here's another one. Hey, you send super chats, you get a little sexy. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, old man, I appreciate you.
Pictures for my
Thank you.
super chats.
Thank you. Everybody moving forward needs something sexy for super chats. Okay. But no, seriously, old man, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. That means the world to me. So,
JJ, you see me over here trying to get right. I get them type of super chats. Let me show my shoulder a little bit.
I'll see you.
No, I love it for you, sis. I love it. I love it for you, sis. For real. I love to see, because like I said, I've seen you put in the work, man, in just a short time that we've known each other. K Kinetic, we've collabed on Voice of College Football. You know how I am when it comes to dogs in the business, bro. When you stand on who you are, I'm a rock with you. It could be conflicting views or whatever, but when you stand on who you are, I love supporting content creators. So, man, I appreciate you for supporting sis too, man. More people need to see this type of content, and it's natural. It ain't fake. It ain't. I mean, literally, past this, I can literally text her and be like, "Hey, how you feel about this?" And she's willing to consider anything collab. So I appreciate you for supporting it, and every content creator on this platform, man, that's going to come through or that's been through here. I appreciate y'all for supporting us. We got some special stuff brewing over here, man. I'm glad to be a part of the little crew, man.
Well, thank you. I honestly appreciate all, because the only person I knew up here before I did the series was JJ, because JJ's a Panthers fan. So if we want to talk about Carolina Panthers, we can. But
tell him to quit being jerks over Adam Thielen.
We gonna rise over there. We good on that Carolina stuff.
Yeah, we good. So he's right.
Yeah, and so I just I appreciate you all, because you didn't know me. You just heard me have a vision, and you heard me be like, "Hey, I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to do this thing. Like, are you interested?" And now we're here. So I always say this: we don't talk to people enough. People don't talk enough. People don't disagree enough. People don't interact enough. And so I just want to thank you all for saying yes and trusting me with your episodes because you didn't know what I was going to put out.
All right,
You didn't know what it was going to look like.
JJ, can you get a message to Panthers GM to stop being a jerk over a 35-year-old wide receiver on a 1-year contract, 1 year left on his contract? Y'all want
Bro,
a day
hey,
2 pick
I
for
hope-
him? Come on now.
Come on.
Wait, who is it?
I
Adam
hope
Thielen.
that Panthers fans
Oh.
feeling. So I've been for like the last 2 seasons, going back to the beginning of last season and all off season, before the Vikings situation became a thing. I've been pushing for Carolina to move off of Adam Thielen, right?
Mm.
You know, like everything that they have done for Bryce, you know, like if you truly believe in the young quarterback and you've gone out and got these young weapons like Xavier Leggett, you know, T-Mac,
McMillan,
McMillan, and yeah, all these young guys that you brought in, for the Bama guy, the young Bama superstar quarterback that you want him to grow into, then what good is it to have the 35-year-old as his primary weapon, security
Well, that's what I'm
blanket?
saying.
This man almost retired.
But by the end of the season, you'd ideally like to see Thielen as the 4th on your depth chart for the Panthers. Like, you don't want him being wide receiver 1. You would hope he's going to be like, by the end of this season, that he would be 4th on the depth chart. So if, from what I understand, the Vikings are offering like a 4th and 5th pick swap with him or something like that, or a 5th by itself for him and taking on his salary. He's 35 years old in his final year of his contract. You know you ain't going to re-sign him. Make the trade.
Send it off.
What's the salary? What's the salary cap hit?
It's like 6 or 7.
Like it's not anything to be worried about. Put it like that.
Okay.
And you're talking about getting rid of that and then possibly filling that void with 2 assets that aren't primary targets that could provide you a little bit more quality depth, younger, going to give you space for that ceiling.
His wife have been public that they want to come back to Minnesota.
I mean, same
I
thing
will
with
be honest
Kirk Cousins.
though. I
They
don't
could
blame
pull
the
Kirk Cousins
Panthers
back while they got it.
But I don't blame the Panthers. If they're basically doing everything they can to try to get this man from you, have that price be high.
I mean,
Yeah, but a third round pick for a 35-year-old wide receiver.
Well, I mean, I think
that's too rich.
I think it is too rich. But why not hold your ground
I
and make them
it comes to
move?
a point where you have to be realistic. Well, because at a certain point, it's not about like the business part of it. Like you want it to be like all business, but like this situation is kind of unique in that the timing of it is not like, I don't think we have the leverage that we want to pretend we have, right? Like the Vikings don't have to get Adam Thielen. They would just
I think you did until today.
Part of it is the storybook narrative of it.
I think you had the leverage until today because the whole draw of Thielen for the Vikings right now with Jordan Addison being out for the first 3 games is that he's worked out the last 2 summers with J.J. McCarthy and has that chemistry. He already knows KOC's playbook. Up until today, he was the only real option. But KJ Osborne just became a free agent. He also knows Kevin O'Connell's offense, and we could sign him for no trade picks. We could sign him right now for nothing and have a receiver to step in that already knows the playbook. So I think a lot of that leverage left today when KJ Osborne got cut.
100%. And I was just going to say that
and I agree with that, but that was to me that was always a risk.
I think he's on a delay.
Yeah,
I think JJ's
that's what I was about to
delay.
say. I think JJ might got a slight delay.
Yeah, I think he's on a delay. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, listen, I'm going to be honest, guys. Why are we talking about the freaking Panthers? We're talking about the Carolina Panthers.
I mean, I don't even recognize them as a division.
Hey, chill out.
Who that quarterback? Cam Newton? Oh, ain't they that quarterback?
Chill out. Hold on.
JJ, I'm giving you a hard time. Listen, every Sunday, I will be honest, JJ has me believing in the Panthers. And then I will watch his Twitter and I will see kickoff and he's doing his best where he's like, okay, maybe. And by quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, it's like,
Look,
he's like, what is
reality? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hear me? Okay, so maybe it was my video feed dragging or something. I have like 2 teenagers and everybody's on the individual device in my house, so maybe it's too much pull. But anyway, I mean it's been tough, right? It's been a tough few years. Like I do try to start out every week like I'm a winner, at heart. So I go into every Sunday thinking like today is our day. This Sunday is our Sunday. We're about to turn it around, and about halftime is done. And so for one reason or another, and if we win, it feels like it has to be a miracle, and it's been like painful. I'm not going to give you but so much though, because I sense 2 chickens in the room, with it's E and Coach. I mean, but look, I ain't come here for pro talk.
Go get the strap. Go get the strap. Go get the strap.
Look, y'all are rivals on Saturdays, but y'all want to be homies on Sundays.
Whoa, hold on.
What we got going on down here below those lines? You hear me?
Yeah.
Who's JJ's
Alabama, Georgia?
Hey, chill out.
Who's JJ's college team?
I live
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Oh, that's
I live
right,
here too now. I mean, I live in between Atlanta and Athens, so I can give smoke both ways.
I'm a Grady baby, but I mean, I'm right here between Athens and Atlanta right now. So
I feel me. I'm in Gwinnett, so
then we neighbors. We neighbors.
So you know better.
Yeah,
better. You just try your luck.
And look, look, I live in enemy territory. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, and you do.
I do.
But we still waiting for y'all to find a rival, because we you can't be a rival with us. The Saints don't want you. Tampa don't claim you. We don't know what's going on with you.
It's bad when your whole division is in a down stage and you can't even being in that division. You can't even get the respect of the down division. Carolina, calm down. Many paces, Carolina. And y'all got my boy Bryce. Y'all got my QB.
Wait,
you know what I'm saying?
Is Baker Mayfield the best quarterback in that division?
No.
Stop it.
He is.
I think
Let's be real.
I think he might. Who are the options?
I like Mike Penix out of
it's Baker Mayfield, Bryce Young, Michael Penix, and Spencer Rattler.
That's it.
Well, first of all, they don't want Spencer Rattler. They finna have that number 1 pick. I hate it for him, but they finna have that number 1 pick. I'm
Spencer about to
sorry.
enjoy this year, and that starting role. Ain't no dubs coming.
Yes,
I mean, honestly, if I had to pick a quarterback, I would 100% take Baker out of those options.
I mean, don't get me. Don't get me wrong. I was a Baker fan when he played at Oklahoma. I really was until he played up against Georgia. Then that had to change. But I mean, right now, when it's all said and done, I mean, when you're looking at it and you're looking at it stat wise with the division, yes, he's the only one that has been producing, because a lot of us with our teams has been going through a quarterback carousel. So yes, if you're looking as far and talking about like as producing, yes, you can say Baker Mayfield is there, because again, all of the OGs have left. And we were all going through that quarterback carousel from Atlanta to Carolina to the Saints. So we really haven't had like a steady, like a Drew Brees or a Matt Ryan or a Cam Newton. Tampa has always had their quarterback issues until Brady stepped into the scene. And then that's when, they got Baker. So yes, stat wise, yes, Baker would be that one because he's been the most consistent, but that's going to change. So we don't have to worry.
I just want to thank you on behalf of Vikings fans for taking Kirk Cousins so that we could move on to an actual franchise quarterback. Thank you.
I almost put up the other finger. You better stop, Kay. You done hit us a few times. One with the Michigan comment earlier, and now you at my Falcons. Now, listen, I don't know what the management was doing when they did that last year.
Nobody
got a $200 million backup.
Well, I put it to you like, I mean, the thing about it is, if Matt would have stayed, we would have had a $40 million backup. So at this point in time, I'll be honest with you, our Uncle Art is not getting any younger. He's really not. He's really trying to get this team back. He wants that Super Bowl feeling back. So when we switched over to Raheem, and they knew they wanted Penix in the first place to go ahead and get that in, because again, they weren't going to bring in no Russell Wilson or no Justin Fields. I'll be honest with you, that was a no-no.
And you know what's crazy? Before you continue, Justin Fields, I really think that would have been a different type of energy behind Fields and him coming to Atlanta, being closer back to home. And I feel like we would have seen a different product of Justin Fields than what we're seeing continue to be developed in the NFL, because the sparks are still there, man. You know, his career from starting at Georgia up to all the way through, even at Ohio State, his surge at Ohio State, he has yet to find a place where he's accepted. And a lot of it is him personally, but you put Justin Fields in a situation where he wants to be in, you got a different type of production. Same thing that happened with Cam and other quarterbacks coming through the NFL.
He didn't want to be here though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part. Like I happen to, one of my sons, coaches over there on that side of town, right over in Cobb County, where he played high school at. And so a crazy story that I learned was that whenever Justin left Georgia and went to Ohio State, they got so mad at Justin here, that like his dad worked at the school. I know this is like crazy to share, but his dad worked at the school, and like the school got rid of the dad. He was like, or something.
It was bad.
Yeah, like that.
Well, and the issue with that situation that I have, I knew that was going to happen, but anyway, I'm sorry. Somebody just showed me something about Colorado State.
Colorado State or Colorado?
No, Colorado. I'm tripping. Not Colorado. Yeah, with Colorado. I already knew that was going to happen, and I'm glad it happened. They didn't name Juju the starter, and I knew that was going to happen.
Oh,
they did or they didn't?
No, they didn't. And I knew. I already.
So Caden Salter.
Yep, I already knew that was going to happen, and I blame his daddy.
People are sleeping on Caden Salter, man. I liked him at Liberty. I was honestly wishing Michigan would have got him as a transfer.
But this is the thing about it. When they brought him in, I already knew Juju was not fin to start, and I blame his daddy for that. I blame the daddy because you could have been your butt right over here at Georgia.
Them because they could have, because they could have been at Georgia.
They could have been right over here at Georgia.
Literally, I've been telling Georgia, and I'm if y'all don't know me, what I do as far as this industry, recruiting is my thing, and I've been on the Juju Caleb Odom thing for years.
Hey, bro.
What's that?
No, go ahead.
He's on a little bit of delay. So
if Georgia had an opportunity and they would have, went all in with these guys 10th grade, 11th grade year, I think you see Georgia's offense looking totally different coming into this.
But it wasn't because of that. His daddy wanted Georgia to throw out that moolah. Kirby has a philosophy. We're not going to throw out everybody. Exactly. So that's what turned Kirby off. Because they really wanted Juju, but they didn't. That turned him off. But then, too, when it came down to state, shout out to them Grayson Rams, baby. But when it came down to the state, Juju had an opportunity to. I really am in the neighborhood.
Listen, she up there, man. I tell you, I done talked to a few people around the area. A lot of my connections is out there in Westlake area, up there where Travis Smith Jr. just came from.
I got connections in Westlake.
She in my hood for real though.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to them great Rams. Like for real. But no. So when it came down to that, Juju had an opportunity to lay his legacy down. That didn't happen. It didn't happen. And to be honest with you, when you have a player like Tyler, when you got Ant over there, when you got that type of offense, Travis, shout out to him being the number 1 QB for this outcoming class. So when you're having a team like that coming at you, like Juju had an opportunity to lay that down and put more leverage. But again, this is kind of my little venting session right here. I blame the parents. Get out of your kids' business. Please get out of your kids' business. If they want to go somewhere to where they can be developed, where it's a good school, good program, stop worrying about that money. Your bill's going to get paid when they start making that money. Stop worrying about that. Like, stop doing that, because that's what literally led Juju to not coming to Georgia, was because the daddy was like, nah, we going to do this. That's why he went right over there to Coach Prime, because he knew Prime was going to sit over here and throw out some money, and they was going to do that. Because from what I heard, rumor had it that Prime promised that he'll be the starter. But when they went over there and grabbed Buddy from Liberty, I said, oh, no, he ain't finna start. He finna sit over there and be back up.
I'm really high on Caden Salter, man.
If you have a more mature skill set of what you're already recruiting, you're going to run with the mature skill set. And Caden Salter and Juju, there is no separation as far as skill sets available, arm talent, none of that. Juju is going to be good. I don't think he's going to be good at Colorado, though. I guarantee you he doesn't finish his career at Colorado.
He's not. He's not. When kids, I always tell people when kids start looking for money and start transferring to schools for money, and you already know it's about that money, they only finna be there for 1 year.
Better
So
ask
so
Jared
wait, so
Alexander.
you think he transfers out because Caden Salter's only there this year?
I think he gets his opportunity next year, and because of his lack of development in this skill in this system, which showed up in spring ball, that first scrimmage. Oh, he's over here slinging the ball around. He's going against second and third team his first scrimmage. Yeah, now elevate him to first team and see what's happening in that scrimmage. He's going against second and third stringers as far as their secondary guys that was third stringers last year for Colorado. He's going against these guys and struggling with just making your basic reads. They're not throwing the book at him defensively, and he's struggling. So why would I throw him out there with the lack of experience, all because of some hype and some money behind? Nah, we can't do that.
Now, see,
And I think
I don't mean to cut you off. And going back to Justin Fields, that was a situation that happened with Justin Fields. That's why a lot of Georgia fans was like, Kirby was crazy for not starting him. And I'm like, no, he's not. I said the reason why is, in which Justin still kind of struggles to this day. He has a hard time reading the defense. He still has it. Ohio State did great with masking that for him to help him do that and help him become better. But in the NFL, you can't mask that. If that's not what you can't do, that's not what you can do. And that's what led his development. Now, I'm not going to say Chicago was the best place for him. No, it was not. Because that development over there sucked. But in the same token, when it all comes to it, we are now seeing him progress, but it's taking him too long. By the time he really gets to where he's good and in his prime, it's kind of going to be too late at that point. I hate it for him.
So having said that, what do we think about Georgia Tech versus Colorado?
I don't care for neither one of them.
I like Georgia Tech. I like Georgia Tech, for this reason only. When you have a defensive front like you had with Colorado going into that Georgia game last year, you got a lot of that experience turning. You got a lot of the young talent you was able to get in this recruiting class. And I mean underrated 3 stars and I mean just underrated guys across that Georgia Tech front. I'm telling you. And what's crazy is Georgia Tech has an opportunity to get a few more underrated guys from that Northeast Georgia area that are committed elsewhere. There's a guy go by the name of Aiden Kane that's committed to Duke. He's at Gainesville High School right now. If Georgia Tech could get in that pocket and get to him before a team like Alabama or Georgia or Auburn or Florida gets to this young man, underrated 3-star, watch out Georgia Tech for being one of the most dominant interiors coming for the next 2 to 3 years. They got some talent up front. And that's going to be the difference in this game
really
against.
Out here. You out here on the recruiting trail for real, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm out here.
Yeah, like they Georgia Tech, which I'm pretty pissed off about because they got a good dude coming out of offensive lineman that's coming out of East Coweta that I just watched over there with their games. 6'6". Yeah, the 6'6" dude. Yeah, and I was like, wait a minute, hold on, bro. We get the 6'6" big dudes in the trenches. What you doing going to Tech? Like. So no, they're really going into the trenches. They are definitely going into these schools. They're really hitting up Middle Georgia a lot with that because I have seen it. But I know, like you said, you recruit, and I know I'll be talking to a lot of other people that be really on the recruiting trail. And I have noticed a lot of these 3-stars, and this is just in general. A lot of these people are really starting to see coaches, coordinators. You need depth. Just because they're a 3-star does not mean that they are not good. Jordan Davis was a 3-star for Georgia.
Okay. I'll just point out Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, they were 3-stars when they committed to us, and they just went top 12, 13 in the draft.
Yeah,
I think 3-stars, solid 3-stars are underrated. I think they're very underrated.
All the time. All the time. You don't have to get you a 4 or 5-star just to make the team because I'm gonna be honest with you. We seen 4 and 5 stars on Georgia that it couldn't do jack diddly squat.
Speaking of recruiting, I want to ask Smook for his insight on something. So a couple months ago, we had this really annoying Notre Dame fan that's a viewer of our podcast, telling us that Notre Dame lockered Michigan for Javian Osborne. Well, they got Javian Osborne, and we just got a commitment from Savion Hyder. So give us your analysis of who won out in that.
So let's just do this first. When it comes to recruiting, I think the rest of college football need to be scared again with Notre Dame. I'm just being straight up. They're able to move in ways kind of like Miami's not taking advantage of. Being a private university, they're not taking advantage of it, but Notre Dame is taking advantage of it. Now, as far as that recruiting battle, you know who got the upper hand in that battle, man. I mean, Michigan, because of Sherrod Moore, man. I'm telling you, he's one of the players. And I talked with Nick Abrams, that just committed to Georgia, right? Personal, and like you said, committed because you dancing. But I want to see that same energy come early signing day. I'm gonna just have your mind prepared for that.
There's still conversations going on with Nick Abrams. I'll tell you right now.
Ain't no conversations. You talking about literally Nick Abrams wakes up every morning and is like, hey, such and such text me today. Such and such text me today. I feel at home and I feel at home and that's my youngin. I'm gonna tell you, Nick Abrams, he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna sign with Georgia. I'm just be straight up. You can just go ahead, count that loss, and get ready for that flip. That's gonna be some big news that everybody gonna already know about.
But how do you evaluate Savion Hyder and Javian Osborne? How do you evaluate those two?
Okay, Osborne, you get versatility, right? And we're talking about the 20. That's the 26 commit.
Yeah, they're both 26.
Okay, I think Osborne, you get versatility. I think Heisman is one trick pony, right? You kind of see what he does, and it shows on their highlight film. You're not going to get versatility. You're not going to get most highlights. I think you're seeing guys really just go with the first safe option and not going with where can I really develop it. And I think Osborne got the development pick right there. He committed to Michigan, right?
Osborne went to Notre Dame. Hyder came to Michigan.
I'm telling y'all, Notre Dame.
Hey, they're not saying.
I'm scared. And I'm gonna say this. I like what they're doing, and I'm
but
scared.
Notre Dame ain't immune from flips either. I know at least a handful of their big time commitments that are still having some conversations with other teams.
Let's just be honest, but let's be honest for a second. Almost every single recruit that has committed is talking to other teams.
They have to.
Some of them.
Exactly.
They have to. It's very few.
Don't trust these kids. Like, pay attention. Like,
yeah, but there's some that there's more fire than smoke, and some of them is just smoke and rumors.
But they have to is marketing
to people. Exactly. Like, and I don't fault the kids. Honestly, I want all the kids to take all the recruits, all the visits, get all the money, do all the things.
Yep.
But I think sometimes we're like, well, if he's not talking every day and it's only one day, and it's like, it's the fact that he's saying he's available. He's still available. And it's like, they're all doing it. They're all doing it. And I don't think we talk about Notre Dame enough because Notre Dame's not in a conference. And I think sometimes when you talk football, you usually talk about a conference. You're usually like, okay, what is the Big 12 doing? What is the SEC doing? What is it? And a lot of people just don't talk about Notre Dame because it's like, when do you talk about them? It's like, oh, and Notre Dame. Oh, and it's like, so no one ever it pays attention, in my opinion, to what Notre Dame is doing.
We're above conference, man.
You're a what?
We're above conference.
Okay. So there's like conferences and then y'all are above it.
Yeah,
because only independent can you lose to teams like Northern Illinois and Marshall.
Facts. I mean,
I respect that claim. Hey, you have a walking spot in the college football playoffs at any point. So
I love that standard.
Yeah, we equal opportunity, man. We give the smallest teams the opportunity to beat us. The big teams the opportunity to beat us.
Just remember which side chickened out of our rivalry for like 13 years.
Oh.
Hey, you heard that excuse? They give smaller teams the opportunity to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
They give
add that one to that Georgia file of excuses. That Georgia file drawer of excuses.
They come up with so many excuses why they backed out of the Michigan rivalry, but then they keep their games with Purdue and Northern Illinois.
With Catholic school, we have to bless folks every once in a while.
See, one thing about Georgia, though, we don't back out. UCLA dropped our home and home series before this even non-conference came in. They dropped that home and home series. Ohio ran scared to the point to where they pushed that bad boy out into 2030, and we might still not play Ohio State. We be looking for it. We played Notre Dame. We went to Notre Dame and pretty much read that out. And then they came to us, and it was funny because they took the Irish soap from the shelves. That was the most funny thing.
Well, listen, 2019, Michigan beats Notre Dame 45-14, and then the Irish decide to back out of their future games with us. A rivalry that's been going on since 1887, and they said, "All right, we're done. We've had enough. Let's go play NIU instead."
You 2 administrations ago, bro. Like that's 2019. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't talking about that no more.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what's funny too about Notre Dame is it's like nobody even gives them crap for not being in a conference. Like
Oh,
nobody,
no,
it's
no,
just like they're just
we
not.
give
No,
them
we
crap
give
all
them
the
crap.
time.
Let me keep it real for you, real quick though. Like,
I'm talking about public, like nationally. Nobody
no,
ever
I
is
mean,
like, if Notre Dame would just get in a conference.
we call a
No,
bunch of crap, and then we joined the ACC.
Yeah, but that's the weakest schedule because we all know ACC is top heavy.
Yep,
We
and
all know
they
they are
couldn't
top
handle a
heavy.
Big Ten schedule, so they went and joined
I
the
know,
ACC.
but Notre Dame really went to the ACC when Clemson was Clemson, right? They still was Clemson. You know,
As
like,
one
Clemson
team.
still Clemson.
As one team.
but Florida
They
State,
never stopped being Clemson. It's just like
Florida State
who is
hasn't
it?
been in the playoff
It's
yet.
Clemson, Miami, and Florida State, right? That's
You can't
it.
even count
And then
Miami because
every
Miami's
once in
just now getting back.
Right.
North Carolina has
It's
some good
actually
seasons.
it's really been Clemson. Florida
Well, I have
State been in and
So,
out.
so I have a question, Lady E. Who do you taking? Are you taking Miami or are you taking Notre Dame game one?
Game one,
You know what to do.
I don't like Carson, so
Yeah,
and
you know,
Notre Dame really doesn't
you
rub
know
me
what
the
to do.
right way. So if they
You know
both
what
can
to do.
tie, I'll be happy.
But
But
you know
no,
what to do.
if I have to pick a team,
Your check on it.
yeah,
Your check on it.
I,
Who you picking?
look, if I had to pick a team, it probably would be Notre Dame.
All
With
right,
that,
that's it.
it's just the way Carson kind of left, and then what he said after when it came down to it. And it was some more stuff. Carson really kind of got cocky up here in Athens, Clark County, and really didn't have that connection with his team because he really actually was going to go and actually leave to go to the NFL. The only reason why he decided to come back and actually go and leave Georgia to go to Miami was not only for the money, but his draft stock and draft grade was not too kind to him after this season. And it was almost kind of like he blamed Georgia for that, but it wasn't. It was you, bruh. It was you.
And I'll say as a Michigan fan, rival of Notre Dame, I'm going to pick Notre Dame as well because I personally never thought Carson Beck was a good quarterback to begin with.
A lot of people didn't.
I was never a believer in him, and I do like Notre Dame's running back Jeremiah Love. He's probably the best as a single running back. He is probably the best in the country. I think we have a better running back room, but as far as like one running back, Jeremiah Love I think is the best one.
On our room too.
And I will say, I want to like Marcus Freeman. He is a likable guy. I like him as a head coach. But Notre Dame fans, and this isn't at you, JJ, but the ones that come on our shows are so weird. They make it hard to like Marcus Freeman. But Marcus Freeman is really awesome, and I do like him. So I'm gonna go with him.
Well, I mean, what makes it hard for you to like Marcus Freeman based on those fans? Because I'm interested.
Look up a guy on X that goes by Dallas Fan. He's in every one of our shows. He's on our Discord server, and he makes it so freaking hard.
Because it's his fandom too much that it's annoying.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Like,
okay.
I love having conversation with rivals. Like, I could sit here with JJ probably and spend hours just talking about the games, the history, everything. This guy, and my experience with most Notre Dame fans, it's all trolling. There's no substance, nothing brought to the conversation. It's literally just all trolling and nothing there. And it's it's so hard, man. Like
I mean, because like I was telling really Flawed, that Notre Dame, our fandom, is really unique. Like even in my case, right? Like I grew up at a time, like I'm talking about old school. I don't want to date myself, but like where Notre Dame was like at the top of college football, right? So everything came through Notre Dame, whether we won or lost.
So like 83.
No, 88, brother. And so
you gotta give him those extra 5 years. You gotta give him those 5 years.
I was a kid, but I had a cousin. My cousin won the national championship with him. He was the quarterback. That was my introduction to football, actually. And so that's the only reason I'm a fan. But I've seen, like how special Notre Dame was. But, like as we, evolved to the point of college football where we are now, the standards at Notre Dame before the NIL stuff, like it was hard to like compete with the Alabamas. I remember in 2012 when we saw Alabama, and I remember like looking at our sideline, looking at the Alabama boys, before that championship game. And it was like, oh my God, like they were so shell-shocked because they realized that they weren't on the level, and we got washed that game. And
I mean, the most notable person on your team that year was Manti Te'o's girlfriend.
exactly.
Yeah. And nobody could
well,
find her.
Yeah, I mean, but
life comes at you fast.
But but most Notre Dame fans, the real fans, like we are emotionally intelligent. Most of us, not the ones that you're dealing with. I'm saying like the folks.
Okay, listen, just say it. It's a high standard. Okay,
it's a high
to
standard
get into Notre Dame to get a degree from there.
And I never stepped foot at Notre Dame, but it means a high standard to our fandom because we kind of get it, and when we lose, we can accept the loss. And even like I go back to a couple of years ago, we had our first game of the season against Ohio State, and we really should have beat them. And Marcus Freeman lost, right? He lost that game for us. Like he didn't put enough defenders on the field, and they scored at the end of the game, won the game, walked off, right?
Yeah.
And I can be realistic about why we lost. You know, I blame the reason why we lost. I don't get lost in Al talk about we should have, won and we were a better team than we were. No, we were who we were, and our coach sucked in that moment, and he's gotten better. And so I think, we are.
I think JJ entered the portal.
JJ has entered the portal. Yeah, shout out to Vocal Mike. Best all around football channel on YouTube. Shout out to him because he helped me complete the series. So shout out to Vocal Mike.
If I could give a shout out to Rap Vocal Mike and my guy, and also my guy Maze Madman, who is the host of the show that I'm co-host on. They're both in the chat.
Oh wait, not that one. Where is he? I said hi to him. I have been terrible at this because I will be honest with you guys. I'm having the best time. I see the chat, but I'm not focused on it. I'm a terrible host. Okay. I'm having a good time. So shout out to everyone that's in here. There's been a lot of great comments that I'm just now seeing, and I am sorry. I am so sorry.
Maze Madman's the one that
I've become a fan of my own show at this point.
Maze Madman's the one that brought me from being a fan of the podcast into actually being a podcast co-host.
Yeah.
So shout out to him. And listen, I know JJ's left, but I'll just give a you're welcome out to all Notre Dame fans. I can understand your struggles with Alabama, so you're welcome for retiring Nick Saban so you can be great again.
Hey, and that, what's the sad part about it? I know Michigan fans are on this little high horse of this 2-game win streak over Bama.
2 in the same year. The first day of the year we beat y'all. The last day of the year we beat y'all.
And the last day of the year.
And that last one, let's be honest, almost all your starters played because they wanted revenge for the Rose Bowl game, and
then they came out and played like crap. Whoop-de freaking do. But you caught us at the perfect time. You caught us in a time where Saban was really done with college football. He had already accomplished enough, and you get us in a transition year. Sherrod Moore brings back all of his freaking roster from the previous national championship team. Y'all struggle in the
No, we didn't. We've had 22 guys that have been drafted off that team. 17 of them went to the NFL. After that championship,
not after that. You had veteran guys. You had over 1,000 worth of snaps returning on that defensive side of the ball. Don't play with
None of them played in the Rely Quest Bowl. Will Johnson didn't play. Mason Graham didn't play. Kenneth Grant didn't play. Josiah Stewart did not play.
Returned for that game. It doesn't matter if they started the game, took the first snap of the game. They played plenty of snaps to be a veteran squad. We had 7 new receivers. Well, no, 3 new receivers on the offensive side. You had 2 new DBs on the back end of the defense. You had a bunch of injuries up front and on the offensive line. Don't play with me, man. I can't wait to see Michigan if y'all ever get back to that, because Bryce Underwood about to shit a bag. I'm sorry, I ain't supposed to be cussing. About to crap the bed. About to crap the bed this season. I'm glad they made him the starter. First of all, I don't think
you just be happy with your consolation prize in Keelan Russell. We got the real prize.
When you win as many national championships as Bama do over the time that we've done it, you can take 3 or 4 years off and not be in the national championship picture. It just happens like that. It has to happen like that.
Name 3 guys, not Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, Josiah Stewart, or Will Johnson, that was a returning all-star on that defense.
Hey, we ain't talking about all-stars. We talking about veteran presence and snaps.
Name 3 of them.
The game is not won by all-stars. Ryan Williams, if that was the case, Ryan Williams would have had 400 yards against that trash secondary.
Name 3 of the players that play defense in the Rely Quest.
I don't care to name them because I don't follow Michigan roster like that, but just know you had over 1,000 snaps playing in that game. So stop playing. Stop playing.
Go team.
Damn bowl game. He getting excited about a bowl game.
Hey, it was the greatest Rose Bowl. It was the greatest Rose Bowl of all time.
Okay, I'll back off. This isn't the time. My bad.
Hey, you know what? You know what though? I will say this about Michigan and Sherrod Moore. Y'all gonna be the happiest 7-5, 8-4 team over the next 2 years I've seen with all that great
That
culture
ain't
talk.
happening anymore.
And Sherrod Moore, he's such a great guy. I can't wait to see how happy y'all gonna be as an 8-4, 7-5 squad for the next 2 years because Ohio State's not falling off.
That 4 or 5 loss thing, that ain't happening again. Not under.
We'll see. We'll see.
So I just want to pause a second because we just had about 30 people join. So I just wanted to say, welcome everybody here. So if you're here on my Instagram, if you're here on everybody who's plugged their Instagram or their Twitter, because I see a bunch of them up here, or if you're here on YouTube, welcome on everybody's YouTube. We're doing a show where we're just talking about our teams. We're just talking about football, okay? Talking a little trash, having a little fun. This is football. It's football week. We can say whatever we want. It is what it is. And so everybody that you will see on stage, I invited them. They were a part of my top 25 college football series. Every episode that I created is in the description and their video is linked. So if you want to see all these people that are talking trash and you want to see their videos, go to the description, click on it, and you can see their videos there. And then the other thing is don't forget to like everybody, wherever you see us, like the video. I am terrible at the chat, so please forgive me for that. But who we have on the stage right now, we have a Michigan fan, Georgia fan, JJ's back, Notre Dame fan, Alabama fan. Everybody was invited. So whoever shows up, and whoever drops off. It is what is it called where you come and go as you please? It's called something where it's like a party and it's like come and go. It's called something. There's like some cutesy name. Anyways, that's what we're doing. Okay. So come and go as you please. Whoever has the link, hit the link. You're available. Come on up. we're just having grown folk conversation.
Hey, and I just want to say, I would like to invite all of you on here to come and hang out in the Maze Madman chats. We could use some fun and reasonable fans of other teams, not like Dallas fan. I like JJ. Can we trade Dallas fan for JJ as our token Notre Dame fan in our chats, please? Like,
hey, look, I'm used to being a token Notre Dame fan, and everywhere I go.
Token. Are you used to being a token? Are you used to being a token or a token Michigan fan or Notre Dame fan? Did I take that too far?
Both, yeah, all that, yeah.
Hey, listen, I find myself in those situations too as an Alabama fan. I'm accepted amongst a lot of fan bases, and I'm not liking that. I'm not liking that right now. I want to be the hated. Like, there's a few Auburn.
Listen, Smook. It's hard to hate you when you lose to Vanderbilt.
Listen, you know what's crazy? It's hard to hate you when you ain't won a national championship since the last time you won a national championship. You get what I'm saying?
You mean 2 years ago?
Just shut the hell up with you talking about Michigan right now.
How long ago? What's farther in the distance? Michigan's last championship or Alabama's?
When they won their national championship, they had an NFL team of second-year veterans and third-year guys fielding their
and an NFL head coach and an NFL scheme.
I mean, you had everybody playbook with Connor Stallions. What do you mean?
Connor Stallions wasn't even on the team at that point.
His playbook and his
analysis was listen. Don't lower yourself down to the Buckeyes level. Okay?
I just want to say something. I never would have thought that the people that were going to get into it,
Michigan, they holding on to this. They holding on to it. They know it's done.
If you could have like told me there's going to be people that are going to like disagree, never in my wildest dreams did I think it was going to be Alabama and Michigan.
Listen,
so
when you
guys, hold on. We're bringing up Jason. Jason is here. Jason is not feeling well, so he might just be here for a little bit just to say hi or whatever. Jason, if you want to stay, you can stream this on your channels. I have it set up so you can click all the buttons. So Jason is our Oklahoma fan, just so everybody knows what we're playing with here. So that is what we're doing. So Jason, you're walking into a Michigan-Alabama showdown at this time. So if you want to join, then you're more than welcome.
That's why I kind of came in. It was great.
Oh, okay. Well, you guys have at it.
Listen, y'all go ahead. Continue, please.
I was just gonna say, there's a lot of hurt feelings that take a long time to go away when you get spanked to start the year and spanked to end the year by the same team.
It's kind of hard to have hurt feelings when you win as much as Bama do. If realistic fans not gonna listen.
Why are you talking about last decade, man? Let's talk about the current decade.
We're talking about last decade. 2020 was just 4 years ago, brother.
The current decade is the 20s, is it not?
Decades are intense. First of all, let's talk about that.
Can Notre Dame get a word in? I think Notre Dame go for it.
Notre Dame's back.
I'm back. You know, I had to take a little siesta. Smooth, bro. I need to understand like where Alabama truly is in the whole college landscape right now. Like, I think there's some like Bama fans in denial about like what's happening down there, and I don't know if the coach, what's his name, is the whatever. Like
you know what the hell his name is. Don't play.
Hey, look. Hey,
we spanked DeBoer too twice in the same year from 2 different schools.
Whoever that dude is from Washington that don't belong in Bama, and you know that. Like, what is he really doing in Bama, and will he keep Bama on the level of Smart and Georgia? Will he stay competitive and like in SEC championship contention?
Before you answer that, Smook, I just want to point out to what JJ's saying. Nick Saban would have never put up with what was dude's name, Malachi something last year, acting a fool on the field at that Vanderbilt game.
Yes,
he would not have put up with that.
Bro
was kicking the ball across out of the referee's hands and throwing a tantrum.
Hold on. Let's have him answer the question on where he thinks Alabama is.
Okay, yeah, I need that question answered. I really want to know.
And I want to give you. I'm gonna reiterate the answers you just gave yourself. One, what did Nick Saban do first to get Alabama to that level? Top 5 recruiting class the first 4 years he was at the campus, right? Yeah, right, top 5. Yeah. You come into it. Kalen DeBoer has had a top 3 recruiting class. Well, right now with his current full class of recruiting, is the number 2 or number 3 ranked recruiting class right now, and that's before your final composite rankings and stuff come out. They're going to be a top 3 recruiting class again. Ended in the transition year where he couldn't go on the portal for 30 days, and on his first 30 days on the job, couldn't go on the portal and pull anybody. He pulls a roster together and goes 9-3 in the SEC. His only losses are away games against conference opponents. And you're telling me something fell off? Everybody keeps forgetting.
Who were the losses to?
Can I finish answering first? Where was Coach Saban at his last season as the head coach, the greatest coach in college football? What was his final season record? 10-2, if I'm not mistaken, and lost both of those games by multiple points. Single digits. You add both of them losses is less than 14 points. Kalen DeBoer loses the biggest loss in last year. Goes against my brother Jason's squad against Oklahoma, and even we saw that game and said, okay, if we got a different quarterback, that's a different game. Alabama's defense played immaculate at the game. So when you talk about what's happening at Alabama, I think that the rest of college football should be scared that Kalen DeBoer took over a team that took all the losses. Like you said, 78% of production left that roster that he had to retain. They brought in new guys. They go 9-3. They missed the playoffs because of a technicality. They missed the SEC championship by 1 game. And you saying Alabama's falling off? And we beat the team you trying to compare us to, Georgia. Like, how are we falling off?
Well, I mean, I guess my question, I'll say what it looked like from a distance. And I'm not, watching every Bama game, but I see a lot of them. And I saw the board up at Washington with Michael Penix Jr. And it feels like he has more success with a more traditional type quarterback. Is the quarterback you have this year, is he more what you think is the board style? Because I don't know that. What's my man's name?
Milroe. He definitely wasn't a DeBoer quarterback.
Yeah, so is your quarterback now more of a DeBoer quarterback? I guess that's my biggest question.
You got to look at the roster, man. He's got 2 quarterbacks that he actually recruited in Keelan Russell and Austin Mack. Got Austin Mack to commit early, jumped out of high school a year early, was still a top 10 quarterback in his recruiting class. He's developing in that system going into his 3rd year. Ty Simpson comes from a system that's more familiar to what he's able to operate in now, which has allowed him to earn that QB1 job. And you got generational talent in Keelan Russell, who literally is vertical passing threat Michael Penix 2.0 with the way he layers the ball down the field and the way he's able to dissect defenses in the quick game. So you have those 3 assets available. I think you're sitting in a good spot. But to answer your question and where Alabama sits, man, I think it's scary for college football going forward. 26 class looks crazy good. You're talking about this 25 is coming into this 25 season, so much veteran presence returning. And a lot of your veteran presence, red shirt sophomores, red shirt freshmen, guys who are going into that 2nd and 3rd year with 2 more years, possibly 3 years of more eligibility in a system that highlights their strengths when you're stacking depth of talent. So it's going to get scary for college football, in my opinion. And I'm not being a homer. I said this about Florida 2 years ago. If Napier was to continue to do what he was doing with changing that bull crap of a program after all the stuff that went on with there, I said the same thing with Freeman and Jason's right here. I said the same thing with Freeman at Notre Dame. And we talk about Venables finally getting an opportunity in year 4 going into Oklahoma. Like, this should be the year where you see a change. And 8-4, 7-5, and I'm talking about in games, is good for Brett Venables and his staff, because next year they're going to be unstoppable in the trenches. They're going to be one of the best teams in the trenches in 2026. Stop it.
So you
Go ahead, Jason. You here?
Yeah. So let me reset us, because I think Jason just added his thing, because I just saw a bunch of new people bump in. So just so everybody is aware of what's going on here. So this is my top 25 college football ranking. I've invited every single person that I talk to join this. So that is what you're seeing. So you're seeing a lot of friendly fire here that is happening, because we're talking about college football. Listen, the season is about to start, right? This is our last chance where we can act like our teams are going to be perfect until they show on paper that they might have some flaws. Okay. So allow us this moment, okay, to rant and rave about our team. So everyone who wants to is streaming on their respective platforms. So wherever you're watching this, welcome in. And we have right now, just so everybody knows, I'm a Texas fan and I'm a Steelers fan. So we'll call that out here, because I don't think I've said that at all, but most people know that. We have Michigan fan, Georgia fan, Oklahoma fan, Notre Dame fan, Alabama fan. So everybody that was a part of the series has a link. So if anybody joins at any time, I will add them. And they're here for 0 minutes the whole time, whatever they want to do. So if anybody drops off, don't blame them. Okay. It's okay. So I will be quiet. And so Jason, how are you feel about Oklahoma?
I feel pretty good about Oklahoma. What they were missing last year was an offense with a pulse. Smook was talking about, our defense played immaculate. Well, he didn't have to play much of an offense, so that was part of that. But the defense has been for real at Oklahoma for the last couple of years, and they're gonna. I think that this year, with what they have on the D line, the depth, particularly in the interior, is legit. It's going to put them in every game, and then you bring a guy like John Mateer in, and some of the stuff that they've got, weapons-wise and stuff. And I don't think that you have to have the best offense in the country. I don't think that that's what Oklahoma is at this point. But I don't think that even being top 30 or whatever, if you're offensively top 30, I think that they're going to give a lot of teams a lot of trouble, and starting with Michigan next week.
I mean, you say that, but have you looked at your quarterback's track record against top teams? It's like a 54% completion percentage, and he hasn't.
We're talking about him,
but the best defense that Mateer has played doesn't hold a candle to Wink Martindale's defense. It's going to be unlike anything he's ever seen.
Right, you're talking about bringing a true freshman in for his first road game against a Brent Venables defense, and we're going to worry about Mateer and stuff.
And how often is it successful for the head coach to be calling plays for the defense? It doesn't work.
That's not true at all. Kirby Smart been calling plays for the defense in Georgia for a long time.
Ooh, not really.
No.
Hey, you stop that line. We know for a fact
this
man had 3 coordinators on his staff, and you think he giving them the responsibility to call his plays?
He didn't. No.
That's why T-Rob trying to get out of there now.
No. He
and for that matter, who was the defensive coordinator at Alabama for all those years? You could call it whoever you wanted it to be, but it was actually
Nick Saban. Definitely Saban. That's why I say that's
no,
why Kirby
we know Saban was calling those, but Kirby, no.
That was pretty successful.
Kirby,
he got the blueprint from Dad.
Was it not?
Yeah, no, it was successful, but I'll be honest with you. When Dan Lennon was here, Dan Lennon was actually calling those plays. Kirby gave Dan Lennon the option to call those plays.
I give you that. The 1 year before he left to go to Oregon.
Yeah,
that was his year.
He gave him, because Schumann is pretty much more than likely about to step in and do that too. He's finna give that off to Shu to go ahead and start calling plays. Now, I will be honest. Last season, I think he did try to give Shu that opportunity to do that, but that's why Milchamp came back to help with that, because that was the key underlining, because Kirby can't be over there. He tried it the first year when he first came to Georgia to try to help call that defense and left the offense kind of hanging, and that's why we had that bad season, and that's why he's kind of like let go of those reins. And when Milchamp came in and do that,
my point stands. Even on what you're saying, my point stands. You got it. These guys that are really, really good at what they do, like even offensively or defensively, when they're really good at what they do, they continue doing it, and it goes just fine.
Yeah, but either way, nonetheless, Arbuckle and Mateer have a bad track record against top defenses, and Wink Martindale's defense dwarfs any defense that they played. On top of that, Sharon Moore is coming back to Oklahoma after he played at Oklahoma. Sharon Moore is not losing this game.
Oh yes, he is.
This is the first time. To my understanding, this is his first time returning to normal.
Fade when he gets back to Oklahoma next week. He's going to catch a fade.
So you like Michigan at Oklahoma? What is that, week 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oklahoma's going to win by multiple touchdowns. Come on.
JJ came back on the camera for this one. What you got to say, JJ?
JJ, you in prison? You okay? They let you out? You okay with your background?
That boy in the bricks. Literally.
I love that. Okay. Well, I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting because we don't really know. I feel like every team has a little bit of unknowns. I don't think any team, you can look at any team right now and say they're it. They have everything figured out. They have everything. They have a returning quarterback. They have a returning this. They have a returning that. They have, like, no team, in my opinion, feels that complete. Everyone has something that you can point to and go, yeah, but that's their quarterback. Or, yeah, but look at that offensive line. Or, yeah, but they lost their defensive coordinator. They have a new quarterback. Like, I don't feel like even LSU might be the most, like, complete because they have a returning quarterback. But that defense was so bad last year that everyone's kind of like, I don't know about that defense. Like, every team has something this year. I think that's what makes it fun, though.
Yeah.
I got a question. I mean,
is there a team that you guys think that everybody thinks is, like, for sure head and shoulders above? Yeah.
No, I think that there's 9 or 10 teams that theoretically at least could win the Natty this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of teams that could win.
I want to know how your heralded running back transfer, Jaden Ott, is listed as the 3rd running back on the depth chart.
It could be. Well, he's been injured for had some little dings. I don't think they were worried about playing him against Illinois State.
Okay. So you think that he's only 3rd because it's a week 1 against Illinois State?
Yeah, I think it's a week. Okay. I think that's absolutely a week 1 roster or depth chart because there's a couple of guys that aren't probably starting and don't need to play.
Okay.
I mean, it's Illinois State, bro. It's Illinois State.
No, I get it. I'm just saying it was just a shock when I saw the depth chart yesterday because I've been hearing about him all off season. So I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
No,
what's going on there?
He got banged up a little bit here towards, like, I think it was like the 2nd week.
The second scrimmage is what I heard.
And he's just, I mean, they've been wrapping him in bubble wrap because he got hurt last year. So they don't want to go into the season with him being, banged up. I think they want to make sure he's ready to go. I'd be surprised if he got more than maybe a carry or two. I don't really see that. I don't see a point in playing him at all. How good are the other running backs there? Because I know you had 1 or 2 transfer out, right? Like how good are the ones that are still there behind him?
You still got Barnes. You still got Javonte Barnes there.
Javonte's there, and I tell you, talking about freshman guys that are the guy that they've got listed at number 2 right now, Tory Blaylock, is a home run hitter, man. This guy
every time speed.
Bro, his speed is ridiculous. He put on the weight that they wanted him to put on. He's looked really good in the blocking game, which that's the thing with DeMarco is that he's the kind of guy like last year with Taylor Tatum. He didn't play him a lot. Number one, he had some fumbles when he did, but he also had a situation. He wasn't blocking well at all. And DeMarco's not going to let you play if you're not blocking. If you can't pick up your blocks, he's not going to play you. But Javonte's there. He's a senior now. But the thing about Javonte, I think that he knows exactly what is expected of him. He was going to be the number 1 guy, in at least for DeMarco. I think he's the number 1 guy. When you bring in Jim Nagy, though, and he goes and gets Jaden Ott is going to be the number 1 guy as soon as I think they're going to put him in next week for sure. You'll get a heavy.
Do you think he'll be healthy and ready for week 2?
I think you will. But again, I think that they're pretty. That running back room is pretty loaded up. I mean, I'm not too worried about the drop off from any of them. You know what I mean? I do think that Javonte can do what he needs to do. But we'll wait and see kind of how it works itself out. But I like Jaden Ott. I think he's going to be really good. But myself, Tory Blaylock is going to be a legit threat.
Let me ask Smook as someone who I'm pretty sure has a good knowledge of both rooms. Compare the 2 running back rooms. We got Jordan Marshall, Justice Haynes, got Micah Kapana, Jasper Parker. Compare that to Oklahoma's running back room. Who do you think has the edge there?
I think name on paper right now, you got Michigan because of the names, but I think production wise, what's coming back, I like Javante Barnes' running style for what coming in with Arbuckle. Justice Haynes, is he going to be your bell cow? He's going to need 20 plus carries a game. You get what I'm saying?
Him and Marshall are going to basically be 1A, 1B. It's going to be very close to 50-50.
So if that's the case, then how many times you handing it off? Because that means you're going to need to hand the ball off. Justice Haynes is going to need 20 plus carries to be effective in anybody's offense. That's just the type of running back he is. He's not going to pop off with the big explosive plays. That's his reason for leaving Alabama. He didn't want to be in a 40, 30, 20, 10 room. You get what I'm saying? He wanted to be in one of those rooms where he's getting 60% of those carries. And that's what he did in high school throughout his whole career. So I think right now, Michigan has it better on paper, but philosophy-wise, schematics, I think with what Mateer and Arbuckle and that offense are bringing in to Oklahoma, it coincides with the pace of play calling for Oklahoma's defense, which I think has the advantage in this game too, in that matchup. So I really like Michigan's running back room on paper, but I think schematic-wise, it goes to Oklahoma for the edge. And that's just in their run game. I think when you talk about the passing game, as much as we want Oklahoma's passing game to be so explosive, I don't think it phases into that immediately coming into the season. I think there's levels of it.
Well, and let me ask you, so I touched on this earlier also, Smoke. Sorry, mind blank. Wink Martindale's defense against Arbuckle's offense. How do you see that matching up?
What's that now?
Wink
Don't answer
Martindale's
that. Hold on.
defense?
Let me get this super chat. Let me just do the super chat real fast. So Charles, I can't see the name, sent a super chat. I don't know whose channel it's from, honestly. So
It's from mine.
if that's your
It's from
person,
mine.
claim them.
Appreciate it,
From Jason.
Thank you, Crow.
Thank you for
Appreciate
your
you.
super chat, Charles. We appreciate it. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just asking. So I've seen what I've looked back at from Arbuckle from Washington State, but I haven't. I've looked at some of it. I've looked more at
But you're talking about
the
Washington
stats on the paper.
State, though, bro.
Right. No. That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking Smoke.
With Washington State,
right.
weapons,
That's what I'm asking
Washington
Smoke
State
here
offensive
about
line.
the scheme. Arbuckle's scheme matched up against Wink Martindale's defense, which he's seen a lot of as well.
You realize it's the same scheme that like Lincoln Riley used to run and that kind of stuff. That was
Danton Lynn's version of it isn't the same.
It's more perimeter run game.
Y'all play week 2?
Week 2.
Yeah, week 2. Yeah.
Week 2, yeah.
You're going to see more perimeter run game, but with different blocking assets available. I think Oklahoma's offensive front, their offensive line compared to what Arbuckle has had his previous stop, especially at Washington State last year. Mateer did that behind the offensive line that really wasn't asked to do much because of how he created plays, off schedule plays. But I think he's going to be able to be in more
Mateer
of a situation.
He was the running game.
The running game, and now you get a situation where he has some assistance in the running game. I think you get a different balance of play calling from Arbuckle too, who wants to put the ball on the ground, wants to hand the ball off 48 to 52% of the time. You know what I'm saying? Like the passing game is more explosive directed, getting those guys in space. But I'm talking about your flood concepts that Arbuckle designs, getting an athletic quarterback like Mateer who can throw good on the run out in space off platform. That's more so in his wheelhouse and going to set him apart as far as the development of this offense. Outside of that, man, Michigan on the other side of it, Michigan doesn't have that in their passing game. I don't see it happening for Bryce. I think
but with Wink Martindale's defense, with what you saw him do last year against Ohio State and Jeremiah Smith against Alabama, like how do you think that matches up with Arbuckle's
you're
offense?
dealing with different skill sets of quarterback here, man.
That's
you
right.
don't have Jalen Miro who's going to take off
Let me
after
ask you
one.
that. What do you really believe that Bryce Underwood is going to go on the road game 2 against Brent Venables, who's going to bring pressure from all kinds of places he's never seen and not get put in the blender?
You don't think he's seeing that from Wink Martindale and practice every day?
Negative.
Yeah, he
Not
is.
if they want.
Yeah, he is.
Not if they want him to be ready to start week 1. You don't go and beat up your true freshman quarterback in scrimmages.
They're not hitting him, but I'm saying he's seeing those looks. He's seeing those exotic
We're not
blitzes.
talking about hitting.
He's
I'm
seeing
talking
those
about
pressures.
mentally. You're telling me that Michigan's defensive coordinators out there throwing in his mixed coverage looks against his true freshman quarterback that they have to have ready.
He's been doing it all since spring camp. Yes,
I don't think so. I don't
He's
think so.
been doing that since spring camp to get Bryce Underwood ready.
I think Bryce Underwood is going to be so many steps behind because of that. because the very thing that you see coming from Michigan, Brent Venables is different when it comes to designing the hidden pressures, man. And that's.
But I just want to point out, Smook, that you were just talking about how all those guys that were on the defense for Michigan in the ReliQuest Bowl against Alabama, the vast majority of those guys are still on that defense in the same scheme with another year under it. And now you're sitting here saying that, acting like it's not going to give Arbuckle problems.
We're talking about defensively for Michigan, right?
Right.
And I don't think it gives Arbuckle problems because of the type of scheme that you're going up against. If this was the Oklahoma scheme last year, the way that offense was ran last year, Michigan's dominating that. They don't have to give extra assets to the box. But Oklahoma's going to be able to spread you out, and he still wants to put the ball on the ground. A lot of people didn't try Michigan in that phase last year. And I think because of the way that it plays out, man, I'm talking about numbers. Perimeter run game on the Arbuckle is some of the top most successful, efficient rushing offense in the nation last year. Even
you don't think Ryan Day was trying to spread us out with Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, Egbuka, all them?
Don't get me to talking about Ohio State's play calling against Michigan. They literally let y'all have that game. They brought y'all back in that game by feeding into the strength for us. That's just my opinion.
You gotta quit acting like it's the same football team that you had 2 years ago, Kinetic.
I'm not talking about 2 years ago. I'm talking about literally the end of last year when we didn't have Will Johnson playing. We didn't have Mason Graham or Kenneth Grant playing in the ReliQuest Bowl. I'm talking about the players we had that we still got. And the scheme is the same from 2 years ago. It's Wink Martindale who designed the scheme that we had in 2021, 22, and 23.
You haven't gone up against let me just ask to go on what Smook was talking about with the scheme that Oklahoma's going to have. It's an air raid, quote unquote, scheme. He's not afraid to go get into a jumbo package and get under center. He's not. He's going to go and get yards however he needs to get it. If you watched him all the way through, really watched him all the way through, they do a lot of different things to put points on the board and get yardage. This is a different program. And I'm going to tell you another thing, too. We're going to talk about Mateer and what they did against teams that are, quote, good teams. They beat Power 4 teams last year. They beat Washington last year.
Yeah.
And that was with a trash program. I mean, they didn't have the kind of weapons. They had one guy that was really good that could have played anywhere. And the rest of them, they didn't. He was the running game. He literally was the running game, and they were able to go and get wins. I'm just telling you, man, it's a different animal when you come to Oklahoma, the kind of weapons that you have around you.
I just think you're underestimating Wink Martindale and his defense.
I think you're underestimating
the one thing I will say is I do think that being on the road is going to be a thing. So let's just call it a draw against team versus team. Let's just call it a draw. Just for laugh's sake. If that is a draw, they still have to go to Oklahoma. And right. I think that's I think that ask in itself is a hard ask to ask of a true freshman. Now, have we seen true freshmen go out, pull it out, and do all the things? Yes, but obviously. But for me, I think if we call it even, I'm not here to say it's not, but if we call it even, I think that is going to be, I'm curious to see what that's going to look like.
I mean,
is being in Oklahoma, because that will be his first. Well, I think that will be his first experience. Yeah, obviously he's a freshman. It'll be his first experience going like on a huge college game, huge atmosphere, and it'll be interesting to see like what he looks like. I think that's the $1 million question.
Yeah,
is he going to look like a freshman?
It'll be fun. I definitely think Oklahoma's going to be the toughest test for Bryce because it's so early in the season. I do think that it's close enough because like. Talking with the people that I know that cover Oklahoma, a lot of the same issues that we had last year, they had wide receiver room, offensive line, all that stuff, quarterback. I just think that I think that Wink Martindale's defense is going to be ready. I don't think we're going to be asking Bryce to win the game. We've got a great run game with Justice Haynes, Jordan Marshall, and a deep room behind him. We're not asking Bryce when Michigan has never asked their quarterback to go out and be the one to win the game. It's just to step up when we need you to. And do I think Bryce can do that at this point? Yes.
Well,
but I think it's going to be a lot of leaning on the defense and the run game as well.
Let me ask this question.
JJ has to drop.
Well, yeah, I have to drop, but I want to get this about Bryce because I've only saw him on highlights. I haven't seen him play a real game anywhere. sometimes I wonder did that young man choose the right university to play football at. And I know that might come off as a little spicy, but because of what you just said, like Michigan has won and played their best ball with like a game manager at quarterback. Bryce appears to be a guy that they sold as like a special,
Off
type guy, off schedule, off platform type dude, can run the ball. Things that we've seen at Michigan, but he seems to be a little bit more special than the Michigan prototype, McCarthy type, that you experienced winning with. I wonder if he can stay within the framework of what Michigan likes to do in order to do what you're, outlining, for you to win the game, or will he go back to trying to win the game himself, when things get tight, or like, what Jason said, when Venables, heats him up, is he going to try to take him off? Because I think that's what Venables wants him to do.
Oh yeah, no, I get that.
Try to be Superman.
I would say this. I think the thing with JJ, people call him a game manager. He's not a game manager. He could have went to any university, played in an air raid or whatever, and balled out. He went to Michigan, played within the structure of Jim Harbaugh's offense, and just because he wasn't asked to do all that doesn't mean he can. Y'all are going to see that this year with the Vikings. But with Bryce, yes, he can do all of that, but you also got to look at the coaching staff. Sharon Moore, while he's going to continue the tradition of Michigan having a strong run game, strong offensive line, strong defense with the Wink Martindale scheme. Now we actually have the originator of that scheme there, Wink Martindale. He brought in Chip Lindsey for a reason. Chip Lindsey, his offensive scheme has always been tailored to what he had with him. When he had Drake May, he tailored the offense around Drake May. When he had a really good tight end compared to his wide receivers, he tailored the game to that. When he didn't have that, when he had to go to a backup quarterback last year, but he had Omari and Hampton, he tailored the game to that. So that's what you're going to see. I don't think that you're going to see Bryce play outside of that structure as much in year one, because we're not going to ask him to be Superman out there because of what we have. But just like JJ, he's going to have the ability to step up and make those plays when we need him to. And I think that Chip is going to be able to utilize his skills in a way that you wouldn't see Jim Harbaugh do. In that case, Sharon Moore is much more flexible with Chip Lindsey than Jim Harbaugh was with any of his offensive coordinators.
I mean, I respect that. I mean, I'm interested to see, what he does, because, honestly, watching Michigan last year offensively, it was a mess.
Oh yeah, last year was horrible.
Yeah, so
but that was in large part our offensive coordinator, Kirk Campbell. His scheme was it wasn't creative in any way. He didn't try to fit it to what we had. He basically said, here's the J.J. McCarthy, Blake Corum offense. Y'all are going to run that. I don't care, Donovan Edwards, that you're a east and west runner. We're going to run you up the middle every time. Doesn't matter. We're not going to do screens. We're not going to do any two running back sets with you and Mullins out there.
You're going to have to run the ball.
Yeah,
I was just going to say that.
I think
that's the toughest part. Oklahoma didn't give up a lot of rushing yards even last year, and they're better than they were last year in the trenches.
I think that's the $1 million question, right?
Yeah, because if you're not able to run the football,
you have to pass
now
the ball.
You are putting it in Bryce Underwood's hands to have to go beat you. And
and I think he has the ability to step up, like he said the other day in the interview.
He's not going to have.
They ain't seen freshmen like him before.
Hey, Jason ain't with it, bro. Jason is like
So let me ask a question then. How is the Michigan offensive line? Are they new? Are they experienced? Like, what is the? A
little bit of both.
I'm trying to throw a bone. Okay, I'm trying to dig.
Yeah. So we've got veteran players that are really good in Greg Crippen at center. Gio Al-Hadi is really good, but last year he was playing out of position because we brought in Josh Preeb, who was playing at left guard, so we were playing Al-Hadi at right. We also had Evan Link play a little earlier than he probably was ready to last year, and playing out of position. He had played left tackle his entire football career prior to that. We put him in there at right tackle. So the right side of our line was not good last year because they were playing – all their instincts were from playing on the left side. Now we've moved Al-Hadi over to left guard. We've moved Link over to left guard. We had Andrew Sprague, who really stepped up last year towards the end of the year at right tackle, and he solidified himself there. So I would say the weak parts are left tackle, because we haven't seen the steps that we hope that Evan Link has made, but that reportedly he has made. So I want to see it before I call it a strength. And then right guard is probably the weakest part of the line, in the sense that, like, for example, all offseason it's been expected that it was going to be Nathan Afobe taking the job. And it was just announced yesterday that I mentioned this at the start of the show, that we had a transfer come in from Cal Poly, Brady Norton, who was announced as the starter at right guard there. So I would say right guard's a weakness. Left tackle could be a weakness, but I need to see it. The rest of the line we're pretty confident in.
Yeah. Well, listen, at the end of the day, let me just say this. If you're going to ride for your team, this is how you're supposed to do it, okay? Because on the cool, he could be wrong about everything and he could be right about everything. But this is how you're supposed to ride for your team. If you are a fan of your team and you're not riding for them this hard, I'm going to question your fandom. So shout out to you.
We call it fair weather fandom over there at AAA family.
Listen, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of fans right now that as soon as they see a little bit of crackage or a little bit of leakage on their team, they're off the boat. And they're running, and they're like, "We're not that good." So hey, I kudos to you, kudos to you. And you know what? If you're right, you're going to look like the smartest man walking, and if you're wrong, it's going to be like, "Well, let's reevaluate." So I know you have to drop off, so that's why I just wanted to say, like, kudos to you, because at the end of the day, that's how you're supposed to be when you're a fan of your team.
and I'll just say, open invitation to anyone that wants to come on over to the Maze Madman channel. We go every Monday night after the game. Come over and talk about it. And I'm happy to come on y'all's shows if you want to talk about it. If you guys want to have me on, hit me up on X at Kinetic615. I'm happy to come on anytime and have some good natured back and forth and talk about the games.
I love it.
Yeah, hey man,
I love it.
We'll definitely. I'm supposed to get a hold of Maze Madman for sure. And
man.
But we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you.
For sure, man.
Yeah. But I'll catch you guys later, Smook. It was great as always. Nice to meet you, Jason. Flawed, thank you for having me on.
All right, brother. Take it easy, man.
Hey, before I go, can we all agree that Ohio State is the softest university in the country, banning Dave Portnoy from entering their stadium on Fox's kickoff panel? Can we leave it at that? Can we all agree on that?
I'll give you that.
You made me dislike everything about Michigan starting today through the end of the 2025 season. You made me dislike, because I can't believe you really believe that Bryce Underwood gonna walk into Norman and play good enough to help. If Michigan wins that game, and I'm gonna let you go after this. If Michigan wins that game, it's not because of their quarterback play. I guarantee.
No, I agree. We're not winning because of Bryce Underwood. We just need him to step up when we need him to not lose the game.
He won't be able.
But we're gonna win it. We're gonna win it off of the running backs and the defense.
Be good. I think Bryce is going to be good. And I would be worried about Michigan later in the year more than I'm worried about
100%.
Week 2.
If we win the game, it is not because of Bryce. I 100% agree with you. If we win the game, it'll be because of Jordan Marshall and Justice Haynes, and it'll be because of the defense. But I'll catch you guys later. Again, happy to come on after the game anytime, or hit me up. But I'll talk to you guys later.
Love it. Later. I love it. Hey, listen, that's what this is all about, right? This is college football. Like, you're supposed to. This is what you're supposed to do.
That's how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to talk shit.
I'm disappointed when people are like, I need you to ride for your team. Like, my fandom doesn't really go like that, but I understand when other people's fandom gets like that. So I love that. So a couple of things. So we are streaming on Coach Smook's show. We're streaming on Jason's show. We're streaming on my channel. We're streaming on my Instagram, and I think we're streaming on both of your Instagrams. I can't tell because my screen is crowded. But if you're on all 3 of our channels, like all of our channels, make sure you're subscribed to all of our channels. I am a Texas fan. Everybody knows that. Like, I don't make any bones about it. I'm a Texas fan. We have Alabama fan, Oklahoma fan. For those people that just joined, because I just saw the numbers uptick a little bit, so I did a top 25 college football series release videos in order of how I ranked each team. And then I invited everybody to come on, sent them the link, invited everybody to come on and come and represent their team. So that is what they're here for. Okay. That is what this show is about, is come and represent your team. So anyways, now that we're there, now we have an all SEC. So this is kind of like, it's kind of not fair in a lot of ways, but that's okay. Because I feel like earlier we had a conversation of if we thought Oklahoma was taking a step forward, if they were taking a step back, or if they were just going to be a little bit better. Like we didn't know if they were like a little bit better, a lot better, kind of like where our range was. So you weren't here, Jason. That is your team. So what do you think? Do you think you all are taking like a massive step forward? Do you think you're going to be better? Like where do you feel like you all are going to be this season?
Yeah, I think they take a step forward. I think that the only thing that kept them from being significantly better last year was decent quarterback play, and the fact that I shouldn't even say quarterback play. The offense was a total shit show everywhere. The line was injured early. You had 9 different offensive line combinations that they played throughout 12 games. On top of that, you had six receivers total. By the time it was all said and done, the top 6 receivers were out. And then you had a terrible, terrible coordinator. I mean, terrible coordinator. That being said, the quarterback situation wasn't good either. Jackson Arnold was scared of his own shadow. That's not the case with John Mateer. This guy comes in there and going up against this defense every day. They win some, they lose some, but he's talking and swag. The swag is out there. A lot of people like to compare him to Baker Mayfield. I hate that. I don't like comparing players at all, really. I don't think that's – but I do think that when it comes to the kind of swag that you saw from Baker, where he comes in and he just believed in himself, supreme chip on his shoulder, he's going to come out there and he wants to compete. He's brought that to the room. I've said that I think that Michael Hawkins is every bit as talented as what John Mateer is. What John Mateer brought, though, with that chip on his shoulder, Oklahoma needed in the worst way. That confidence level, that it's going to bring the confidence level up on both sides of the ball even. The defensive guys, he talks shit to them all day, every day, and they love him for it. They love him for it. It's it keeps it very competitive in there, and you can see a difference in I mean, just looking at the way at the end of last year, and there was times during the first couple of years that Coach Venables just kind of looked a little defeated. You know what I mean? And he should have looked defeated, in regards to what was going on last year, because it didn't matter what his defense did. You weren't going to have a whole lot of opportunities to win. It was so bad.
Yeah.
The thing is, you're seeing him with this kind of wry smile right now when people are asking, he's like, yeah, wait till you see what I got for you now.
Do you think do you think it's like I feel like there's like scales. Like, do you feel like you would be let down if Oklahoma wasn't contending to get in the playoffs? Or are you saying that you feel okay? I didn't know how high. Oh yeah, how far we were going. Okay.
I think anything. I mean, 8 keeps his job, and at 8, if you were to say, because you've got Alabama and LSU in 2 of the last 3 weeks, right? So you're closing out.
Right.
You're probably going to be at 8 by the time you get to the Bama game, which means, or I feel like you should be around 8 by then, right? When you get to the Bama game. I don't think that Mizzou is ready for what they're going to get when they get to town this year. That's the in-between game. And then the LSU game, I think, truth be told, I think the LSU game, whatever happens against Bama, is going to be what decides it. It should be what decides whether or not you go to the playoff or not. Okay. I really do think so. And I do think that, I think that LSU is going to be pretty damn good too. My concern with them, I guess, will be defensively. You haven't really seen them. It's not normal LSU defense. You know what I mean? And I'm not sure what I think.
And then Jason, also you got them come. I think Norman is a hard place to play. And I'm not just talking because I'm a Bama fan. I'm looking at how teams just play when they went into Norman last season. Your defense played better at home. And that's like the catalyst for what your team was last year. You bring into this year offensively, teams like Alabama, teams like Missouri, Ole Miss, Tennessee, we catching y'all after like the week where you kind of find your identity. Week 7 is kind of when you across college football, if you've seen like the first 5 to 7 games, you try to find your identity in a lot of these teams that's got a lot of movement. Well, Alabama didn't have a lot of movement this season, so you can see Alabama hit their peak at a week 4, before we go and play Georgia, and then kind of just roll on and build off of that throughout the season. I think Oklahoma doesn't hit their peak because of the moving pieces until like the Tennessee game where they go on the road and they may have to win a tough one or they may lose a close one to Tennessee at Tennessee just because of the way the schedule falls. You coming off
like after the Texas game is always a letdown. So you've got
exactly
right
South
Texas,
Carolina in Columbia.
Right. You've got right after that, you've got them and then Ole Miss at home, but then you got Tennessee plus
on
Bama back to back on the road. So we're talking, I think that the second half of the schedule is a bear. The second half of the schedule is a bear without a doubt. And not to say that the first, you don't have some games in that first one that you could trip up in.
Right.
The hope is, if you're an OU fan, the hope is that you're going to get out to a 5-0 start. You know what I mean? You should be able to beat Michigan at home. You should be able to beat Auburn at home, even though I know that Auburn has some talent. Their defense is really good. Jackson Arnold is going to be their quarterback more than likely. I mean, I don't know if he makes it to that. I mean, never mind. Anyway,
let's not start on Jackson tonight, please.
Let me stay off of JA. Let me stay off of JA right now.
Can we, hey, hold on. Hey, Flawed, can we please put a ban on Jason Watkins talking about Jackson Arnold on any collab stream?
I wasn't trying to do it. I'm backing off of him. No, but the point being is you hope that you go into and Flawed needs to get back on here so I can talk my shit about Texas right now.
Uh-huh.
No, you want to be 5-0 when you get to Red River. You know that's a good situation for Oklahoma with Red River because of the fact that they're coming off of a game in the swamp. Oklahoma's playing Kent State the week before. It's like having a second, like having another a bye week to get ready. I think that's a good situation for OU anyway. But I mean, because either team can win that game. That's always like that. It's just like you guys in the Iron Bowl. You guys feel like somebody, the best team may not even win. A lot of times that's just kind of how it goes. But in the end, I think that you should get to Red River undefeated. What happens from there is whether or not you get in the playoff or not. You get to Red River undefeated. Whatever happens in the last 7 is what we're going to find out whether or not they're a playoff team, to answer your question. So I think they got a good chance against Texas. I think they should beat South Carolina and Tennessee for sure. But the problem is that those are some road games, and you're going to catch.
You're in the SEC, Jason. This is the SEC. There's no
weeks off. There's no weeks off.
Exactly.
And so you can lose to teams that you don't think you should get beat by. And Oklahoma traditionally after the Red River has had problems. I mean, you'll have a hangover from the game. Win or lose the Red River, you can have a hangover from that game. And so if you don't step up and be ready the next week on the road in Columbia, you're going to get your ass kicked.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think before y'all, Oklahoma's coming off of a big game too at LSU. And I don't think that's going to
playing at LSU the week before. That's right.
Oh yeah. South Carolina is playing at LSU. I'm sorry, I said Oklahoma, but I think that's one that's the tone set. South
Carolina is playing at LSU before
they play Oklahoma.
The week of the Red River. So we've got South Carolina the week after Red River, and then they've got LSU. So it's definitely there's a chance that they could have a hangover too. But they're at home though. We're on the road there.
They're on the road. They're going to Death Valley.
No, but I'm saying they're home for Oklahoma though.
Okay,
Oklahoma's going to be on the road after Red River. I mean, the bottom line is it's going to be a tough game. That's a tough game coming off Red River. I don't even care if it could have been anybody right there. It's going to be a tough matchup. You know what I mean? And then the fact is, then after that, you got Ole Miss at home. I don't think Ole Miss is the same as they were. I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year, but I also think that Lane Kiffin can dial it up. You know what I mean? Lane knows what he's doing and he can dial it up. The guys, who's the hell's the last dude that won a bunch of had a bunch of 10-win seasons at Ole Miss? It just don't happen. It just don't happen.
Fair.
So then you go back-to-back weeks. I'm obviously not back-to-back weeks. You got to buy in between, but then on the road at Tennessee, Knoxville, tough place to play at Neyland Stadium. Then you got to go to T-Town after that, and they're pissed off, sick to death over losing the game last year. Probably kept them out of the playoff, you know. So long way to get to your question. That wins, you should have that 8 wins. You get to Bama, and now you're hoping to get 2 more out of 3. That's the way I kind of feel about it. You're hoping to get at least to 9 by the time it's all over. I think 9 wins could put you in the playoff, but I feel like you got to get to 10, to be honest with you. I think you still have to get to 10. I think you're just going to – 9 leaves it up to chance. If you want in the playoff, you're going to have to get to 10. So I think what is a successful season? It's being in contention those last couple of weeks, and, you know, you definitely better win 8. But if you can win 9, you're better off. And then, yeah, if you can get to 10, then yeah, we're ready to go. I don't think anybody's going to want to see this team with this defense in the playoff. You know, you're not going to want to see them if they make it to the playoff. But again, I think that you better win 8 at the very minimum, because I don't think that Brent probably survives if he doesn't.
Can you guys hear me? Am I behind?
No, I got you, sis.
Okay. I feel like I'm behind. Okay. Maybe I'm shutting down tabs, so I'm like going behind the scenes.
That's what I'm doing right now. I literally was like, "Dang, man, I got 17 tabs open. I only got 3 screens over here. What I need 17 tabs."
Yeah, I started noticing I was seeing you all skipping, and I'm like, I've got so many tabs open. I'm just shutting them. Okay, cool. And I heard you said you wanted to talk trash about Texas when I was stepping away for a second.
You're going to run along right whenever we get into Red River talk. No,
it's what I came for.
Talks about that.
Yeah.
No.
You know, I'm not a fun, I don't talk trash
shit.
like that. Yeah. I'm not that fun of a fan. I think it's because like I'm a level-headed fan. And I see it how I see it, right? Like I could see.
Well, I want to ask you though what you think. I want to ask you what you think about Texas too. I mean, where do you feel like there's a lot? I mean, you're number 1 preseason, number 1.
Yeah.
You've got
I think they're loaded. I think they should be number 1. Yeah, I think they should be number 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason why they're number 1 is because of that defense, and I think everybody sees Arch as the story and as the picture. But the truth of the matter is, I tell everybody this that I've ever.
For the Heisman
I wasn't finished though, but I wasn't finished. I tell everybody when you ask them, who do you know off Texas? Like, what are some guys that you know not named Arch Manning? Usually, you will get people that will know at least 3 to 4 guys on our defense that aren't even fans of our team. To me, that means that those guys are relevant because they've seen those guys. They've seen their names. They've seen them popping up. They hear people talk about them. That doesn't happen to any other team. And I think to me, if you look at who those guys are, we're talking about Colin Simmons. We're talking about Anthony Hill Jr. We're talking about like those guys are good. And so I think if you look at a team, I don't think this team is going to be carried by Arch in week 1. I don't see that. I see this defense carrying Arch along until he's ready to say, I got this. That is how I see it. So if I don't think it now, if Arch goes and wins us the game, cool. I don't think that's what we're asking of him, though. I think we're asking him.
Anyway.
Correct. We're saying don't turn the ball over. Don't be dumb. If you see a shot, take it. But hey, we have a good defense. Trot them back out there. Like, trust what they're doing. And to me, I think that's the development of Arch I want to see early on. I need him to be okay that he's not the guy. Everybody thinks he is the guy. But I need him in his real mind and his real Texas football team to look at his team and say, they're better than me right now. This defense is better than this offense right now. That's okay. Allow it to happen. So that's what I'm thinking.
I think when you talk about Anthony Hill Jr. and Michael Taft and guys like that on that defense, they're legit. There's no two ways around it. You know, and Colin Simmons is legit too. And I mean, there's other guys.
Muhammad in the secondary. I like Muhammad too.
Trey Moore. Coming back for his, Ethan Burke. Like, I mean, there's so many guys that are back that I don't think people realize that are back. And we saw them last year. We saw them make plays last year. That fourth down against A&M, guess who was making that play? Like, it's like we've seen these guys. And so again,
well, I think Hill, if there's somebody that's as good on defense in the country as like Caleb Downs, it's going to be Anthony Hill to me. I think he's that guy.
That type of impact for your defense, I agree.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's just, that dude's a different cat, man. No doubt about it.
And
kind of like your guy in South Carolina, the edge rusher. I forget his name.
What's his? Oh, it's
Lee.
I'm terrible with names.
If I wasn't thinking about it, if I wasn't trying to get
it, if I knew his number, I'm like number 17. Like, I can know the number. Don't ask me anybody's name ever, even on my own.
He's a bad dude too. He's a bad dude too. And I think Oklahoma has some guys like that. They have a number of dudes on their defense. I mean, you're going to ride on defense at OU for sure. That's definitely the strength of the football team. Yeah. But at some point, you are going to have to win games with your quarterback.
Well, of course, but you don't have to start there. And I think if Arch Manning, and I always say this, we're talking about freaking college football, you guys. Like, I know that we like to they're the best in the world. Like, some guys are amazing in college and go to the NFL and they're terrible. I need you to be a solid college quarterback, Arch Manning. That's it. I don't need you to be changing offensive play calling at the line. I need you to be a solid college quarterback. That's my expectation for him. Don't turn the ball over. Get better. Take what the offense is giving you. Trust your defense. And game 2, do a little bit more. Game 3, this isn't, I always say football's not hard if you strip away all the stuff. Take away the fans, take away the outside noise, take away the stars, take away all the stuff, and just make it about football. What does that look like? Arch Manning, don't lose your team the game.
Now, I don't even think it's Arch we got to worry about. Sarkisian. He's the one I'm worried about. Don't call a game. Don't get stuck in your way. Don't utilize what's going to help your best assets. You got a young group of wide receivers, explosive wide receivers that aren't going to be ready week 1. You're going to have to limit those explosive plays. And how do you do that? You rely on that run game. You got 3 backs in your room. I like Wisner. I like CJ Baxter more than all 3 of them. And then you got the true freshman, James Simon. I know he's not getting a lot of looks, right? I mean, the redshirt freshman in Clark. I was talking about Simon earlier. Clark. Yeah, I like Christian Clark. I don't think he gets a lot of carries, but he's your change of speed back that you need to kind of lean on when guys like Baxter and Wisner are setting the tone for you. So when you got a guy like Arch Manning, who I think checks the blocks when it comes to playing the quarterback position, he checks all the blocks. He can create with his legs. He can stay in the pocket, dissect the defense if you give him time. And with the experience you got coming back on the offensive line, how quick do you get the playmakers outside of that adapted to the game? I don't think DeAndre Moore is your guy. As much hype is around him, I don't think Ryan Wingo is your guy as much. As I see the hands with him is going to be his problem in Texas. I think it's that next group of wide receivers. The
guys we brought in.
McCutcheon, Jamie French, Khalil Lockett.
Livingstone.
Khalil Lockett is the one. I'm so pissed off. Alabama had a chance to pull Travis Smith Jr., Khalil Lockett, and Latsier Brooks in this class. We had a chance to really lock that in, and I don't know how we missed, but I could just imagine bump Jamie French decommitting and going to Texas. We'll take that loss. We got 3 of those type of receivers, but you're talking about the speed and the hands to go along with what we got with Latsier Brooks. I like Khalil Lockett. I like Billy McCutcheon as your change of speed wide receiver. And he's more so like a Waddle to me than anybody that we have on in college football right now. Jalen Waddle type speed with and agility. But Texas has to give those weapons time to develop. And how do you do that in the run game? And if Sarkisian doesn't go against his own trend and really go back to his early Bama days when Coach Saban, that second year when Coach Saban would make him run the ball.
The adjustment stuff. It's after the seems like with me with Sark, it's after the script. What happens
exactly?
What
do you do when you turn the page?
I think it's the third quarter. I think it starts in the third quarter.
It's usually early in the second quarter. After their explosive plays in the first 18 to 20 minutes, it's like after that 20-minute mark, he struggles badly.
Well, we have a thing in Texas where it's like, pray about it. It's the third quarter. We're like, pray. Like, we don't know what happened in that locker room. We don't know what they came back out with. Like, I don't know what happens. Even the things that worked. I'm like, can we go back to that one play that worked? No. Okay. Like, I don't know what they talked about in there. At this point, I need to show up and be like, don't listen to any of these guys.
I've heard you say this before too. I've heard you say this before too, that you're worried about what happens to him in that third and then even into the fourth quarter. Like
every time. Yeah. Every time. And that's my thing is it's like and that's why I tell people the players can only do so much. If you're calling the call, if that's the play call and everybody is going, what was that? That's a problem. Like, that's a big problem. Like, people that aren't even Texas fans are like, what was that play call? And I'm like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. What do I do? I don't even know what to say. And I will make a video and I will be like, I don't know, guys. Don't ask me in the comment section because I don't know either.
The thing is I like your running game though too. I mean, look, you had guys step it up last year, even when CJ went down.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that they were really good in the running game. I mean, obviously against Oklahoma, they got it going. This is one of the few times last year that anybody was able to run the ball on OU. Now they were on the field way too damn much. You know, 9 straight 3-and-outs don't help anything whenever you're playing in this game.
Yeah.
But I think that running game wise, it's like I don't understand how he forgets about it because the truth is
you got the assets there.
You know what I say? I have a theory of, and it's not just Sark, he does it, but I think this happens in all coaching because it happens in the NFL too. Because I yell at the screen all day on Sunday. And I'm like, why are we not running the ball? It is working. I think what happens is these coaches fall in love with their plays. And all week they've practiced said play on said thing, on said whatever. And they're like, we have to run this. We practice this all week, not realizing that you don't have to actually. Those 17 extra plays, we don't need them. I'm gonna mute you because we can hear. Can I mute him? Yeah, because we can hear his background. I'm like, I don't know what's about to happen, so let me just mute it. Oh wait, now you're talking, Jason. Hold on.
Oh yeah, sorry. I said he turned the screen.
I know, and then I heard a slam, and I'm like, let me turn it off. And that's my thing. So I think sometimes these coaches get cute, and I think they fall in love with their plays, and they're like, but we practice this. But we were ready.
He loves
and
that
I'm like,
orbit screen, that little bubble that he does. He loves that one because it worked at Alabama for a while. You know what I mean?
But we don't need it. And so I think it's a good call to say Sark might be, I think. And then the other thing I always say too is that only one coach can win a national championship every year. And I think sometimes we say coaches aren't good coaches because they didn't win the Natty or they didn't whatever. And I think sometimes you have to work to get over that boulder. And I think you have to work at it and you have to work and everything has to work and at the right time. And the ball has to bounce the right way.
If it was easy to win a Natty, everybody would do it. Nobody would care.
Yeah. And so again, does Coach Sark have some things he needs to work on? Yeah. The red zone offense and not getting ahead of himself. Please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think man, for nothing else, the Ohio State game, I think about it and it's like, okay, run the ball on the 1 yard line. Turn and hand it right there. Run the damn football. That's all.
Behind your first round draft pick, behind your guy. And I said this. I said this when the game was happening. I said, if he does not run the ball 4 straight times, and if you lose, you lose. And you say, you know what, guys?
Lose on that.
Don't bully them. They were right.
Yeah.
They were stronger. They were physical. Right. They were whatever. Then you do a toss. I'm losing my crap. Then you do a roll right, but you stack the left side of the line. At that point, I'm fucking pissed because I already know what's happening. I knew. And so for me, I'm like, if you do not line up and run the ball down a team's throat, I don't believe you. And that's how I'm going into the season. I don't believe you.
That's what I don't like. Offensive coaches piss me. All of them do. They'll piss me off whenever they don't have the wherewithal to put them in a jumbo set and get under center and run the fucking football. Go downhill. Just go downhill. And thankfully, I have seen Arbuckle do that multiple times. That he's done it. I think that they're expecting him to do so this year. That's the thing. You got to run the ball, man. And in this league especially, you got to run the damn ball downhill. If you don't run the ball downhill in the SEC, you are not going to win You're not gonna. It's just not gonna happen.
What is Carlos talking about?
I agree. I know you have to. What happened? Who?
I was looking at the comments. My AAA family is enjoying this panel right here. I'm enjoying it too. I done went way past my time, y'all. So I'm gonna say this last thing. I'm gonna take my last 2 shots and love at the same time. All right, Texas. I'm looking at the schedule. I don't like what it starts off for y'all with the Ohio State game. I don't like that matchup for y'all, and I don't like the fact that y'all have to go to Florida either. So Texas, I hope at best for y'all it's a 3-2 start, and then that Oklahoma game. I feel like it's the perfect storm for Oklahoma this year. The perfect storm for them with that defense, Arch Manning, those young weapons, not really finding identity. And I think after that Oklahoma game is when Texas rolls. Kentucky, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt. They go into Georgia and beat Georgia in Athens. Arkansas, they handle that rivalry, which I truly believe is more so of a rivalry than the Oklahoma game. I don't know what it is about Arkansas and Texas, but they show up and play Texas. And then I think they have exactly. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the Jerry Jones being the Cowboys owner and being a Arkansas alum. Maybe the two things kind of clash and have to meet up in the football, the college football space. But I don't know. And then Texas A&M at the end of the season, I think that's going to be a tough game. I got Texas 8-4 this season, like unbiased 8-4, and that's just because of the way the schedule lines up at the beginning. If you all didn't have Ohio State to start week 1, I would have y'all 9-3. Your losses coming to Florida, at Florida, the toss-up game, and I'm just saying toss-up. I like Oklahoma's defense. When I look at toss-ups, I always roll with defense in college football, and it tends to work out for me. I like Oklahoma as far as the defensive factor. And then A&M at the end of the season, like I said, I think A&M is just on an uptrend, not an uptrend to where they're going to be dominating the SEC, but they're just going to be able to win some of the games where they can match up in the ones and get down into the rotational depth and able to find guys that fit. So I think it just looks good for them. So 8-4, 9-3 Texas. 9-3 is the ceiling. 8-4 is the floor. And then Oklahoma, you know how I feel about Oklahoma, man. I don't know why people want so bad for Venables to win 10 games. I don't care if it's his.
I haven't predicted 10 wins yet. I said 9-3. I've been saying 9.
People tripping about this 10-win thing with Oklahoma. Like a lot of you Oklahoma fans.
I think there's a path to get there, but I think it's a tough path. You know what I mean? And I think you're gonna have to have things fall your way in certain situations.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think the schedule just don't line up for y'all this year. I just don't think it line up for 10 wins on your schedule. For like you said earlier, Michigan's going to.
The one thing I do like. Let me just toss this in there that you've got a bunch of first-year starting quarterbacks that they go up against, and that the Brent Venables defense is gonna have by the end of the year it's not the same if they've been starting that whole year, but only 2. You've got 6 out of 8 opponents have a first-year starter for Oklahoma, so that could stack up to that. Whether it does or not, we're gonna find out. You know what I mean? You're gonna find out, but it's. Again, yeah, they got the brutal schedule. They did. But I think this defense can take them a long way. And if Materia really does have a Heisman-like season, that I could see the ceiling being pretty high. But, yeah, I've been at 9-3. You're going to have to show me 10 before I say 10.
and to your point about those quarterbacks starting, you won't see most of those new starters until the second half of the season. Like I told you, man, You're
right about that.
Week 7, that week 6 to week 8, that's usually when teams find their identity. And you look at your schedule, y'all got Texas in week 7. Then you got experienced Lenore Sellers in South Carolina at South Carolina. You got Austin Simmons, who I think is going to be, at this point in the season, week 9, weeks 1 through 4, I think Austin Simmons are going to be like, wait, this ain't the same guy that almost put Georgia on their ropes, right? It is. It's just going to take time for him to get his. Come on. And that's what I try to tell people. Don't get so hype off of that one game, because I didn't think Georgia's defense was as elite as they tried to make it seem last year. They had guys, but the team defense as a whole was not elite.
Game at all, man. They didn't look good at all in that game.
Exactly. And then so you got Lenore Sellers, then you got Austin Simmons week 9 of the season. Then you got Joey Aguilar and Josh Heupel at Tennessee. The week after that, you get a bye week. Then you come into T-Town against Ty Simpson in week 12 of the season. You go to Missouri. They're going to be, I forget the young man's name, but we don't expect much from him, but he's going to have experience on his belt late in the season. What are we playing for at this point? That's going to be probably Missouri's story. And then LSU with Nussmeier to close out the season. That's going to be a hard track them last 6 of the games. That's why I got Oklahoma at 8-4. That's what, like, that last 6, you're going to have to win big to win those games. And I just don't see you winning big at T-Town. I don't see you winning big in Neyland. And then also hosting LSU in that offense, man, that's probably going to be the second or third offense in the season that finally can put Brett Venables to test. So that's where I see it with Oklahoma. And 8-4, that's a good season for Oklahoma in this transition year. Talking about next year phasing in, allowing that offense to really settle in year 2. That's what Alabama dealt with last year. Imagine if last year was Alabama's second year with Milroe and Sheridan and all those guys having a year of continuity under their belts. I think it's a different product, and you still ended with 9-3 last season for Bama. So both of these teams, Oklahoma, Texas, second year. If
it's not 9-3, if they don't get to at least 9-3, I wouldn't be happy. I can tell you that.
I agree. And it's right there in the wheelhouse. The toss-up game for me for Oklahoma, of course, is that opener hosting Auburn. Do not let Auburn come in there and have any type of confidence. I promise you, Jackson Arnold is going to play like a superstar. If you give him a inkling of space to have, he's going to do it just because it's Oklahoma.
You said you're not mentioning his name. You said you're not mentioning his name.
I have to because he's in denial about it.
Because his ass is going down.
I hope so.
He's not going to make it to that game, bro.
I hope for your sake and for the Oklahoma fan base sake, Jackson Arnold does not show up and all of a sudden looks like an elite 11 quarterback, something that I definitely disagree with. I just don't think he's one of the top QBs. And I think Hugh Freeze and Auburn fan base is finding that out as the practices continue to go on in fall camp. But I tell you what, man, it's been fun here tonight. It's been fun here tonight.
I appreciate you. Like, I appreciate you coming up. I feel like every time Jason knows this because there's been several times where I've just messaged him. I'm like, I have this crazy idea. What do you think? And he's like, absolutely. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like thank you for trusting me with like this random idea that I had, and then just like collaborating and getting together. I always say I can talk football with anybody because my feelings are never involved in it. Like I just like talking about it, and I like hearing other people's perspectives. Because I think that's how I learn also as I'm watching, and what I hear people say are things that I haven't thought of. So I just want to say thank you for joining me and saying, yes, I will do this. And then thank you for like still being around, because I think that that's important too. And it means a lot to me that you're here and that you were like, yeah, I'll do it. Sure. I'll show up for you. I got you. So thank you. I appreciate that.
100%, sis. And shout out to you and the whole team, man, that we brought together. Hey, like you all said, like the chat is saying right now, this got to be something. Maybe we do this like once quarterly throughout the season, every 4 games or so. We got to come together and revisit some of these takes.
I have to check my calendar. You know, I'm booked and blessed and busy.
Yeah, I was about to say, make sure you check out Palm Pilot. Make sure you check out Palm Pilot. See what.
Let me check my calendar. See what I got going on.
Yeah, I appreciate it though. Once again, y'all, and to all my family out there, man, that supported. Make sure y'all go subscribe. Really Flawed, Jason Watkins. Y'all familiar with AAA family? Y'all familiar with Jason? But make sure y'all go tap in with Really Flawed. I think her live presence is about to be a lot more relevant now that we're stepping into the season. She got some quality content both for NFL and college, man. I'm telling y'all, man, she lit. Jason told me like, hey, she gonna be reaching out.
I said, hey man, I said she's gonna reach out, and I said she's a Texas girl, and I love her anyway.
Yeah, I knew it was real then. And it's crazy because you're a Texas girl, right? And Jason spoke highly of you being an Oklahoma guy. So I'm a Bama guy, and my love, she's a Auburn fan. Her and her whole family. I hear this crap every Sunday since we started dating and going over there to hang out. So I got the love for you, sis. As much as I dislike Texas, I don't even dislike Texas. I dislike the fan base.
I'm okay with that.
Shut up and wait y'all turn. It's coming.
Okay,
trust me. As much As much as I hate to admit it, your chance is going to come in the next 4 to 5 years. I see it.
Listen, to be fair, we have been bad for so long. Okay, allow us this moment. Listen, if you are a Texas fan, stand the fuck up. Okay, because we have been waiting for this. So allow us this moment. Allow us to be annoying until Saturday. Just allow us to be annoying until Saturday. Okay, just when the season starts, I think it will calm down. But just let us be annoying right now. Just let us be.
You Texas fans and your belief in your false hopes of being back. Oh my
Just
God!
Allow us this. We've been waiting for this for so long.
But not
Okay,
everybody's as good as not everybody's as good as you about it though. Not everybody's as cool as you.
Okay, well when you're on my show, okay, when we're doing this together, you know my heart. Okay, you know where I am. Okay, so just allow me to have my moment. Okay, because once the season starts, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that was freaking terrible. Did y'all see that crap? What was that? I'll be right in there with you. So I'm just saying, but right now, just allow us our moment. Okay, it's been a long time.
It's messed up how college football has rewarded y'all though for finally being a team that's ready. And now look at what they did for y'all that first season last year. And y'all weren't able to capitalize. But this year, man, I think the first half is really like it is the best thing that could have happened for y'all. Ohio State, 3 cupcakes, then Florida and Oklahoma. And then after that, you should be smooth sailing. You should be smooth sailing.
And listen. If you are a fan of football and you do not get up for Ohio State, Texas, come on. This is what we've been waiting for. This is it, right? Like, get up. I don't care if you're scared. I don't care if you're nervous. I don't care if you're anxious. I don't care if they're loud. I don't care if you have to travel far. I don't care if it's going to be cold. It's Ohio fucking State. Get up. Get up. Period. In Texas, you're the number 1 team in the nation. Stand up and fight for being number 1. And if you don't, you deserve to lose. And if you stand up, congratulations. We go to week 2. It's that simple. That's simple.
And I need Texas fans to understand that a close loss, no matter what the loss looks like, like I said, I'm gonna keep saying loss because I picked Ohio State. I'm sticking to my
you have
pick.
To stand on it. I get it.
But a close loss or an upset win over Ohio State, even though you're the number 1 ranked team, I think going up there's a disadvantage. You got so many new pieces you got to figure out. If you go in there and you compete 4 quarters and you lose by 7, you lose by 9, you lose by 13, that's not a bad loss. It has nothing to do with your playoff picture. As a matter of fact, it helps you as you continue to go throughout your schedule because, like I said, you won't have another true test until week 5, you going into Florida, and you're facing the same circumstances. How you play against Florida, another ranked team at that time, I think Florida still be ranked top 10, top 15 at that point in time. How you play that game compared to how you play week 1 is going to be what your resume is measured by. And I think you have enough space. You got to stand up and handle those. And handling those means showing up, like you just said, showing up and doing your. If Sarkisian does not get in the way of this offense as far as the development, trying to rush it, I think Texas has enough to make every game that they have on the schedule. They could be a 9-3, 10-2 team for sure if they just go with the flow of how the offense is developing. Don't rely on your defense, but allow your offense space to develop. Don't get into think you got the high-powered offense because you did it against bum-butt freaking University in week 2. No, let's not do that, Sarkisian.
Listen,
you do that.
It's football. It is football. You got to stand up. Period. That I don't care. I don't care if somebody gets hurt. I don't care. Right? Like, this is it. Stand up. Do something. Like, it's not good enough to say, well, but no, we're done with that. It's time to show up. This is the moment. I don't want to hear about it week 2. I don't want to hear about it week 3. I don't want to hear about it week 4. I want to hear about it week 1. I need you to go out there and prove it. That's all I ask for. Do I want you to win? Absolutely. But you have to show me you want to be there. That's it.
Right.
That's it. So that's where 100%. I'm going to be.
100%. And like,
anyways, I appreciate you joining.
I ain't gonna let y'all keep me in
He
here
doesn't
longer
wanna
than what
leave
I'm
us.
supposed to be. I'm
He doesn't
about to
wanna
go
leave
now.
us.
I'm leaving right now. God
You don't
bless
wanna
y'all.
leave us.
Roll Tide.
All right,
Much love to the family, man. And again, y'all enjoy the rest of this show. I'll tap in with y'all another time. Hey,
appreciate
I'm
you.
gonna hit you up, sis. Try to have you on for
All right.
that show Thursday. All right.
Yeah. I have Thursday same time. We'll text.
Yeah, text me.
Okay,
And Jason, you already know Friday is going down. If y'all missed last year's collabs with me and Jason during the season, you don't want to miss them. And we added some more people to the bunch. Gonna have to get Flawed in there if we can get her on Friday nights. But
I don't know. I don't know if it's able. I don't even. I rarely can get her ever.
Ever. You get what I'm saying? If we can get her late night Fridays, that'll be a vibe.
Friday night, Colorado plays. Friday night, Colorado plays.
And we're gonna watch
Colorado
it.
plays though on Friday night.
Georgia Tech.
It's a different vibe of when we come together Friday nights. We're kind of watching the games in the background usually, and we're usually just having a show. It's not a live watch party, but we usually
She wants
just
to yell
talking.
at the screen and like
I love that.
in it.
I love that. So
Yes,
we'll be up late. So
and
we'll
you know
see.
what I actually hate when I'm with some, like when I'm collaborating and their screen is before mine, or they're like, oh, and it takes me a minute to see it. I hate that crap.
That's why I stopped doing watch parties
The
last
worst,
season.
right?
I hate it.
They come in the
hate
chat.
it.
First down. You be like, man, I ain't even seen the last two plays yet. Get out my chat. I block people in my chat for live watch parties. You get in here talking about what's happening in your screen and not paying attention to what's happening here.
I hate that.
All right, y'all. I'm going. I love y'all.
All right, bye.
All right, bro.
Bye.
Peace.
I will I thank you for joining me. Like you were like,
Yeah.
I'm not feeling well, I'm not whatever.
I'm
This
still
is
not,
this is a safe space. You know, this is
Yeah.
a safe space.